Hey, it's time. Terribly terrible. But let's get a, oh, okay. Hello, everybody. It's Adri Theron, and we're diving into an Otome game because I like to play Otome games. So why not? They make me happy and they bring me joy. So what's better than getting joy? Before we begin, I gotta finish cleaning my glasses because they got stuff on them, and I also put some hand lotion on, which I forgot to grab. I have some on my desk, but I'm not quite seeing any. Given this one that missed something. Okay. So try and work on playing games and them done. A little deviation from that plan. So let's me get in the game. Why is the game sounding? Game sounds pretty low. Okay, that's fine. Now we'll have to do. So what are we dealing with today? Well, it is an Otome game. Otome game has a female main character and typically romances men. Um, Typically, if you start having other options, like romance and women, that gets more into the Yuri genre. And then when you have basically all the options under the rainbow, that's usually an Amare. So I think this might be a pure Otome from what I've seen. I think it's just men you're romancing so far. Doesn't mean there's not going to be a female route later. I don't honestly remember. So we shall have to see. But I played this back in September, October timeframe, 2024, and like they'd had their initial demo, and it was quite pretty long, and they actually extended it. Now, since it's been a hot minute since I played the original demo, I wanted to go ahead and just start over and play from the beginning because I kind of remember what happened, but I also don't. I have the memory of a goldfish a little bit, where stuff enters and then it just goes poof and disappears. So, um, good if you want to, play the same thing over and over again. Sometimes other things can be a struggle, though. Okay, go ahead. So the game is called Saintess of the Golden Bow. It's by Transparent Games. This is not their first game, but I do believe it is their first game on Steam. They do have quite a few other games on itch. I think they may be free. I haven't actually played any of their other games. I'm now considering it because when I went on their website, I saw their other games. But, I have like a backlog, like the size of a football field. So whether that's actually going to happen or not is kind of a little bit debatable. So we'll have to see how it goes. But anyway, I'm excited for this game to come out. Um, they have a duke. I like dukes. They have a prince. I like princes. They have not had their Kickstarter yet, so they have a link, a little button on the game that you can press to go to the Kickstarter, and you can sign up to get a notification when it releases. I don't think I've sent any indication of when the Kickstarter is going to be. So, you can follow on Kickstarter and, set up your notifications so that you get an email when it does go live. Do recommend that. The start, load, configuration, credits, Kickstarter, and quit. Kickstarter has, you can change the font. That's fun. Audio. Okay, and there's some voicing in this game. Start, load, title, return. Let's go and look at the credits. Okay. Coming visual novel by Polish indie game dev Transparent Games. Oh, and they actually have all the individual people. I'm not going to say all their names, but I kind of like actually how they have their credits set up rather than just being like a click and it's like a scroll screen that comes on. You can go and look at your leisure. If you read fast, you can go pretty fast through it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, other than the first two scenes, the game is partially voiced during CGs only. Just a heads up. I mean, personally, I don't care whether my Otome games are voiced. I can usually read faster than whoever can like say the words. Also, typically a lot of Otome games I play are Otome games from Japan, so the voice acting is in Japanese. And while like that's cool and all, and the guys do sound awesome, like I don't understand Japanese, so I'm like, I'm just not big into the Seiyu voice acting thing when it comes to the Japanese games. So while it is kind of nice that like an English game has voice acting and it's voice acting in English, I'm kind of just used to not really caring about the games being voiced. So, plus also a lot of times, like when I'm playing Otome games, I'm actually playing them while spending time with my family and watching movies, because I like to kind of multitask. So that's kind of another reason I usually don't play with sound. I care more about the story and the art.
Just my luck. Why does it have to be pouring now? Oh, I want to go home.
Okay, so I do like that the main character is voiced, not gonna lie, Celine. I know it's, gonna be mainly CGs other than opening scenes, but that was actually a really strong line.
I'll be soaked by the time I reach the subway.
I feel like we should go back to the credits. Hold on.
Just my luck.
Oh, if you hit
Why
back, it
does it
does
have to be
redo it. Okay.
pouring now?
Who's the voice actors? Editor Celeste. Veronica Lar. Lore? I don't know how to say the last name. Okay. Yeah, I think they did really strong. It's really strong voice acting so far. Again, I usually don't have much opinion on it, but, I thought it was good.
I'll be
I run down the street holding my bag over my head in a futile attempt to block the rain. I do my best to stay underneath the shop awnings. The cars speeding down the street kick up puddles that shower me in rainwater, and we are going to get hit by truck cotton. Pretty sure I do remember that. I'm ill prepared for such weather. I didn't even take a hoodie with me, let alone an umbrella. I mean, I would never bring in an umbrella if I didn't know it was going to rain, so that makes sense. The damp cold seeps into my body, making me shiver. Oh yeah, by the way, this is set in America, I'm pretty sure.
This day sucks.
My boss yelled at me again, and I had to cover for my sick coworker on top of doing my own tasks.
An office job sucks.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I recently graduated from college and got this boring job where all I do is call people to sell them beauty products.
Adult life sucks.
Oh, yeah, it does actually. You got bills, you got a ton of money, you have money so you can buy the games you've always wanted to buy that your parents wouldn't let you buy, but you don't have the time to play them now, which is why you have a very gigantic Steam backlog. It hadn't taken me long to tire of the monotony of adult life.
I just want to curl up under a blanket and read web novels.
So I remember playing the demo last time and being like, I just identify with the main character so much because I just want to, get cozy in my hoodie, my oodie. I do read web novels on occasion, not as much anymore. I read more manhwas and I play more video games on my Steam Deck, but like, same thing. All the games I play are very, story focused. So, I resonate with this main character very much. Speaking of which, I got a notification on the Webnovel app that my favorite book was updated.
Being the heroine of a fantasy romance novel would be such an amazing life. Fighting to save a kingdom from impending doom, wielding magical powers, and falling in love with a hottie.
I should take a look at that. I pull out my phone and unlock it. I open the app, looking at all the updates.
I've got so much to read on the subway.
Now, this I do not relate to. Where I live, there is no subway. We have no transportation. You drive everywhere, and you should not be reading web novels while you drive. Just FYI, I know people do, but you should not. Um, so yeah, the closest I got to like transportation, public transportation, was when I lived in Japan, and yeah, the trains were like amazing there, and I would play games on my phone or my 3DS. I had a 3DS at the time. I also got a Japanese 3DS while I was there. Got the Fire Emblem Fates special edition. Got like a small 3DS with this little Fire Emblem Fate cover thing. Yeah. Was I able to play the game and read it? No. No, not at all. Looking forward to my next story. I run through the crosswalk.
What?
Oh, by the time I look up to see the light was actually red, not green. It's too late. I'm in the middle of the crosswalk with a truck driving straight at me. It's Truck Con. Trunk Con is transforming us to a magical world. Should I take a step back or run forward? Quick. Thanks, Celine. I take a step back. I can't physically scream, so anytime I hear a voice actor like scream, I'm very impressed. It hurts. The pain, it's excruciating. My whole body hurts so much. I suddenly stopped feeling anything anymore. The absence of pain brings me relief. Now, if I remember, I could have sworn and this would be like the why my Twitch title is the way it is. I think we get isekai'd into a boys' love novel that we have been reading. I'm pretty sure. I let my life go. Very dramatic. Hey, Rain, how's it going? How is your... Today is Wednesday. How's your Wednesday going? And bite to bite? Bite to bite back. The next thing I know, I'm floating in a cotton-like substance. So one of the Otome games demos that I played last year, they released an extended demo. So I'm going to play through it again. And then hopefully, this will probably take multiple streams, because it usually takes quite a bit to actually get through the visual novels, since we, talk a lot through it. So I assume there will be multiple streams to actually get through the demo. But I know if you're not streaming and like reading the text and speaking it, I think the new demo is like 3.5 hours long, something like that. But yeah, we got murdered by Truck Con, and we are getting isekai'd into a fantasy world. Probably what we've always wanted in life. Feel comforted, safe even. Have I really died? Am I in heaven now? But I wanted to read the last chapter of my favorite author's new web novel. Now I'll never find out what happens to the heroine in the end. A chuckle escapes me, a loud sound in this quiet place. I'm pathetic, aren't I? I died, and now I'm just thinking of my hobbies, not my parents or my friends. Not that I had a great relationship with anybody anyway. I was quite a loner. Yes, I resonate with this main character very well. I'm quite a loner. Is that sound? In the emptiness, I can hear someone singing, an angelic voice that's calling to me.
You must fight on.
Oh, who is the angelic voice? I must, but I'm dead. I don't have to do anything. Can't I have peace in death? Suddenly I feel a pull. My soul gets grabbed and yanked towards a golden whirlpool. I scream, but no sound comes out of my mouth. Close my eyes, the shifting reality around me making me feel dizzy. My senses return to me. The first thing I notice is the fresh scent of a forest. Very different from the city where we got murdered by Truck Con. Open my eyes and look around. I'm in the middle of the woods. Lush canopies of trees above me sway gently in a light breeze. There's something heavy in my hand, and when I look down, I see that I'm holding a simple hunting bow. My feet, clad in riding boots, sink into the damp green moss of the forest floor. I'm out hunting, I realize. Wait, how is this possible? I just died, and I now have purple hair and pink eyes. Which, personally, I prefer the reverse. I like pink hair and purple eyes. But, I can take it. I can take it. I can live with it. It's been ages since I handled a bow. The last time I practiced archery was in middle school, back when my parents could still afford to spoil me. I also hadn't put on such high boots today for work, or these fancy pants, or this jacket. The outfit looks almost like it belongs in a Korean webcomic. guess where we are.
Who am I?
Celeste? Where are you, Celeste?
Rain, you be okay? You're gonna cook soon? And what are you gonna cook today? I actually ate before stream. Actually managed, and I cooked some pasta, some basic pasta with some tuna fish, and I had zucchini and squash. Lamb shoulder chop and a catfish fillet. Ah, so is one of those for your dad and one for you? Or are you having a very big dinner and you're eating lamb chop and catfish? That seems like a lot of food. Somehow I suddenly realize I'm supposed to be hiding. Hiding from what or whom, I don't understand. I only know I must seek cover. The urge to disappear from sight is so strong that I don't even question it. No, he just wants the lamb. I mean, lamb's good. It's only 2 pieces of meat. That's a lot of meat, right? I mean, together, that's a lot of meat. I do like lamb. I would probably, of the 2, I'd probably go with the lamb. So, I don't eat lamb that much, but, you know, it is good. Let's see. Find a thicket of bushes, dive into them, not caring that my outfit will get dirty and torn. From my hiding spot, I observe the situation, holding my breath. Rain, are you going to cook any veggies with that? Do you eat veggies? Or is it just meat? Considering how much bone is in a lamb shoulder chop, half of its size isn't edible. Oh, yeah, that's fair. A handsome man with red hair tied back in a ponytail runs towards me. He's wearing some sort of fancy armor and he has 2 thin swords on his hips. So if I remember correctly, this is Levi, and he is originally supposed to be the main character of the web novel that we have gone an isekai into. I recognize this person. This man is my knight, Levi Parenth. Wait, I don't have a knight. I'm Celine. I'm a 21-year-old simple office worker, fresh out of college with a job in sales. Yes, I eat vegetables. I just don't believe in meals without meat. Doesn't mean I only eat meat. I will 100% have meals where I just eat pasta and vegetables. I don't have meat all the time. But I've been doing better to get protein, which is why I add tuna fish. Tuna fish is kind of easy just to throw in with anything. Is that really the whole truth, though? I am now 2 people in one body. Levi turns left and right, searching for me.
Celeste? Please, come out.
Failing to discover me, he runs off. Well, I'm just cooking all this stuff in a pan. Okay. I recognize this guy's look from somewhere, and the name Celeste is familiar too. It's like, No, I couldn't have. I'm not frying the catfish or anything. How does it? So you're just like grilling it. See, I tried grilling catfish once, and I did not like it. I was like, this is much better fried. I'm gonna cook the lamb, then I'm gonna cook the catfish and the juices and butter and all that. Okay, so it's gonna soak it up. That's kind of nice. Did I get reincarnated here? Out of all the books or games that I could have been set in for my reincarnation, why did I have to end up in the BL tragic fantasy web novel? Okay, yes, I did remember correctly. We got isekai'd into a boys' love web novel. And why this one? No, I'm cooking it in a pan, not grilling it. Rain, I don't cook, so it's all the same to me. Grilling in the pan are more or less the same thing from my perspective. When I say grill, I'm talking about I cook it in a pan. I don't have a grill. I don't have any way to grill things. But yeah, no, the one time I cooked catfish, like, in a fry pan on the stovetop, it just didn't turn out well. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I tried putting stuff on it, and it just, like, I'm trying to think of a good way. I feel like it tasted, like, a little bit too gamey. Those 2 things are completely different methods with different flavors. Yeah, I don't cook. It's fine. It's all the same. This is why I don't cook. Saint of the Golden Bow is the work's name. It was recently adapted as a webcomic. That's how popular it had become. Well, guess what? We're going to be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The book used to be one of my favorites, but the world of this story is not a nice place to live. There's a war going on with a demon queen and Celeste. Why did I have to be reincarnated as her? What I just witnessed was the opening scene of the book before Levi is chosen to become the titular saint who goes out hunting with his unrequited love, the lady he's serving. He's supposed to protect Celeste, but he loses sight of her at some point, and she dies. She dies. Well, you also have to know what you're doing with cooking. Saying you don't cook means you don't have experience, which usually means you don't know what you're doing. Meanwhile, aside from the rare occasion, I order food or go to a bar. I cook every night. Yeah, it's more if I cook like really simple things like box meals or like frozen meals. I can cook breakfast food pretty good, like scramble eggs and cook eggs. I like eggs, so that's part of it. And I can cook salmon like in the fry pan and in the oven and stuff. And have a couple of different like spices and stuff to add to it. I just couldn't get the and catfish is theoretically, I mean, it's fish. I don't know. I just didn't like the way it tasted, not fried. Like if I can cook fish in a pan, and add seasoning stuff, and just in comparison to like other fish I had, I just don't like catfish not fried. It has to be fried. You know, eggs and sausage are pretty good, but I'm not a big fan of bacon. I love bacon. I don't eat it a lot. I don't like to cook it. Kind of have some I don't know, when I was a kid, my mom accidentally, like, she was cooking bacon for us and actually spilt, like, some bacon grease on her. So I'm kind of a little anxious if I cook bacon, so I don't do it a lot. So, but I really do love bacon. So I don't buy it. If I don't buy it, I don't have to crave it. I'd rather have a steak instead of bacon. Yeah, for me, it's actually the bacon, oddly enough. Like, I like steak, don't get me wrong, but yeah, I'd rather have the bacon. If I eat too much bacon, it'll make my stomach hurt. That is fair. That is fair. Pork in general, I feel like it's a little bit on the greasier side. So this is why you only do a little bit of bacon. Tiny bit. Steaks, egg, and sausage sound like an amazing breakfast. Yeah, it does. Oh, welcome in, Raiders. Hello, Nix. Hello, Fisher. Hello, people. How you doing? Okay, welcome in, Raiders. I'm Adri Theron. I am a pink-haired cat girl. I'm part of two stream teams, the Cozy Cult and the Pink Fuzzy Bunnies. But okay, and you guys are playing Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay, well, for all of those who have joined, I do appreciate you coming. I do not play Monster Hunter Wilds. I know a smidge about it, but I have been watching Fisher play it. But yeah, I'm playing a Otome game. Doing hi Fisher. Raid. Next, doing good. How goes the novel game? Not too far into it because we've been talking about food, me and Rain. So I'm at the very, very beginning, but it's an Otome game where we got murdered by Truck Kun. We were a office worker in the US. We got murdered by Truck Kun, and we have been isekai'd into a fantasy novel, and we have been isekai'd into the main hero's unrequited love interest who dies early on, and so we're about to die in like 5 seconds supposedly. Obviously, the game has to continue on, so we're gonna somehow live. But yeah. So, also side note, I was talking to Ira earlier. She really likes you. Looks forward to talking with you again. Just feel like it's nice to let you know that. Oh, I appreciate it, Rain. Yeah, no, I love to find other ladies who are into Otome games because I am trying to spread the Otome agenda. You know, be like, hey, oh, hey, Mama. Sorry, my cat just jumped on my desk. Her name is Mama because I'm unoriginal, and she is the mama cat, and that's what the shelter called her. So she has been dubbed Mama. Okay, she got off my desk. So next, it is around that dinner time. It is. I actually remember to eat before stream. But yeah, Raiders. and streamers and people who have been watching Twitch all day and streaming on Twitch all day. If you need to go eat, go eat. If you need to go get liquid, get liquid. I do appreciate you being here. Not Trunk Kun. Yes, we got murdered by Truck Kun. So this Otome game, the devs reached out to me like last September to play, September, October, and I played the initial demo then, and then they updated it recently for Steam Next Fest and the Visual Novel Fest, and I think they extended it, almost doubled the length of the demo. So I figured I would restart the demo and play through it again since it's been a minute and see what they've added to it. So yeah. Mm. Okay, I feel like Viv would like them, to be honest. Well, you know what? Considering Viv likes the romance in the visual novel, I feel like she might, and I have some recommendations. You know, like there are some pretty solid ones, and there's quite a few on Steam that go on sale for ridiculously cheap prices. So, right loud. Yeah, so like the only person I've met who likes to read books and but can't do Otome games, I think was Astral. Um, I think she had some issue with where like visual novels trigger her like motion sickness. I know it kind of varies by game because I think even like one of the Monster Hunter games triggered her motion sickness, but like another one didn't. Rain seems like every female streamer I frequent likes that damn game. Love and Deep Space? Yes. Yes, it's very popular. It's very popular. Most people I know who don't stream it, most women I know who don't stream it, play it offline. So, at least in the space of nerdy women, you know, normal people not as nerdy, not so much. Like my sister doesn't play video games or as much, so she doesn't play Love in Deep Space. But like, I know a lot of people I follow on Twitter that are in the Final Fantasy 14 play Love in Deep Space. So I've noticed it's popular, very much so. It is ridiculously popular because it's very much an untapped market in comparison to like gacha games where men are the target audience. Most gacha games, while they may have male characters, they do. Like Hoyoverse are still very much the customer they're going after. Their target focus is men. Um, so there is a tendency to not put as much effort on the male characters for their female audience. And so like the game company Paper Games that owns Love and Deep Space, they also love Infinity Nikki and love Nikki and China Nikki. It's not a good company. It's not any better than Hoyoverse. It's actually worse as far as monetization. But they looked at the market and they're like, hey, there's a lacking of games where the audience is women in the gacha space. So we could make a shit ton of money here. So let's go. And they've been very successful. And they're very greedy. The gacha systems in Love and Deep Space and Infinity Nikki are like the worst gacha systems I've seen in a game. So, but I like talking to other anime nerds and people who like stuff like that, so I guess it's my own fault. Which is sad. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of funny. They're basically on Twitter. People are like, I love this game, but we're gonna boycott it because they keep fucking us. They keep like they're making millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and they give like no free currency. Probably Love in Deep Space, if you're free to play, is the worst gacha game I've seen for free to play. Um, it's pretty bad. Infinity Nikki is kind of bad too. I love Infinity Nikki, but the gacha system's pretty bad. Well, as a straight guy, it makes sense why I wouldn't want to play any of those games. I don't say those things are bad, but just not for me. Yeah, it's just more of like, um, probably as a whole, historically, you know, games historically have been more focused with an audience of being straight guys. Now we've definitely seen where more games are focusing where like women are their target audience. Like, I mean, I would say probably in large, the cozy genre, the cozy game and spear is probably mostly aimed at women. And so, but is that spear as popular as normal RPGs? No, it's not. Or like to be fair, like Twitch is still pretty heavily male dominated on the streamer side and the viewer side. So It's like how based on your description, I wouldn't want to play your game you're playing right now. I don't think any of that is bad. I just don't like it for myself. Yeah, you're not the target audience. I would not expect you to like it, to be honest. In the same way that like a lot of the typical harem visual novels, I'm not the target audience. Now I used to play some of them because I just wanted to play visual novels and they had good stories. But once the Otome games started getting real popular, I kind of dropped most of those. Occasionally I'll play one because they are a good story. Um, Depending on the one you grab. Okay, let's be honest. Some of them are just porn, but some of them actually have legitimately good stories. Um, but the at least in the gaming space, games that are more geared towards men and games that are more geared towards women, I feel like it's getting closer to like there's a lot of games that are geared towards women. So like every game can't target everyone as an audience. Um, it just doesn't seem to do well. Like for example, like Monster Hunter Wilds, it's a great game. Oh, Mama, get off my desk. Like Monster Hunter Wilds is a great game, right? It's not one that is geared toward me though. But like, is it a bad game? No, I'm just not the target audience for it. I'm not that interested. Or like Souls games. Souls games are good. Am I the target audience? No, I don't. I don't hate myself. Yeah, it's great, but totally not for everyone. Haha. Yeah. I probably should give it a try. It's been a minute since I've tried a Monster Hunter game. I think it's been like 3DS era. And I know I did try like on the 3DS Final Fantasy, try to do a Final Fantasy clone of Monster Hunter. I don't feel like it was executed super well, but I did try that for a little bit because it was Final Fantasy. But it just doesn't appeal to me. Yeah, the character creator is pretty looks really nice, so I do find that intriguing. It's the main story is short, but I'd probably play the main story and then stop. So, and also I just don't want to spend $70 on it right now. So, Rain, well, new harem beings and anime in general aren't very good compared to how they were in the 2000s and 90s. I don't know. There's this one that was called shit. What was it called? Since I think it was like Since Memories or something. Ah, fuck. It was by P Cube. They do a lot of Otome games, and I thought it was pretty good. I had it on my Switch. I was like, the art was real pretty, the CGs were real pretty. The story was interesting enough to keep me interested, even though I was not really like not the target audience. So, yeah, like that can't happen. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I remember that. I played that too. Yeah, I did not play it very much, but I do remember buying it. I probably do not have it anymore. I'm pretty sure I got rid of most of my like, old games. So I was like, I'm never gonna play these. And I'm not. Right, new harem content is sometimes good now versus back then. A lot of them were good. No, Mama Cat, don't get near my drink. That's my water. Mama Cat is just like, I'm gonna be all up in your desk and sniffing. And she usually doesn't. Usually it's my baby cat that's getting on my desk. So I guess that's a good sign. But the baby cat has a tendency to try to sit on my PC tower. And the problem is the mama cat is much fatter than the baby cat. If she tries to sit on my tower, she's going to break it. So I'm also comparing things to stuff like Clannad, Kanon, and Planetarian, which are better than most VNs in general story-wise. Yeah. The only thing for me with those is I don't like the art in them as much. You have to like Key's art style, and it's not quite what I like. Not saying the game's bad, just not for me. I do know I have Planetarian though. I don't think I have Clannad and Canon though. I do have Planetarian. So I just never judge anything by art. So for me with visual novels and Otome games is well, so the nice thing is a lot of them are releasing demos, right? Since we have like so many of them, I feel like I can be picky to be like, okay, the story somewhat needs to interest me and I have to like the art. Like we get so many now that you can kind of be more picky. So like I want the story and the art. I don't care about voice acting, it's whatever. Some people care about that. But yeah. But by the way, Fisher, how are you doing today? So have you finished? I know I was in your stream earlier today, in the past couple days. Um, have you finished the MSQ for Monster Hunter Wilds? I heard it's really super short, like I don't know, like 15 hours or something. Okay. So ungodly sound makes the hairs on my skin stand up. Oh yeah, we got a little demon. This demon is supposed to kill us. But we're gonna change our fate. Change the story. See Rain. Uh, Technically started with DDLC, but the one that sent it for me was a Planetarian. Oh, Doki Doki Literature Club. I don't want to play Doki Doki Literature Club. I think there's actually someone made like a mod to reverse everyone's gender, and obviously that appeals to me a little bit more. I'm like, that's kind of cool. That's a lot of effort. Sure, I think the main story finished at low rank. See, having not played Monster Hunter games, I kind of like have no idea what you mean. I kind of have regrets. Humble Bundle had where they had like a Monster Hunter big bundle, and I kind of thought about grabbing it, but I was like, I don't have time for all these games. They're gonna sit in the backlog. I probably should have just grabbed them anyway and said, fuck it, whatever. So, this is the demon that's gonna kill us. The creature that made the sound appears to my right. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. An abomination, a demon. And I already recognize, so like when you play visual novels, like we're yapping, so we're not gonna get to the story like very fast. So this will take multiple days of streaming to actually get through. So just like FYI. FYI, we yap. The imp's leathery wings flap in the air, then the creature flies towards me. It has spotted me. This is us. See, I like, one of the things I like this game is I love it when the main character has like purple or pink hair. Those are my favorite colors. This is the moment when Celeste DeQuaris dies a miserable death to become part of Levi's tragic backstory. But I just died from being hit by a truck. I don't want to die again, especially not in a scripted event where I'm supposed to just fade away so I can serve as a part of someone's tragedy. Not doing anything to save myself is not like me at all. The imp is still far enough away for me to attempt to save my life. I have to act quickly. The monstrosity is coming closer and closer. My hands are sweaty and my arms are shaking.
I refuse to give up.
Shoot the demon with the bow. Call for Levi's help as loud as you can. We're gonna shoot the demon because we are strong and independent adults. My hands, I hold the key to my salvation. I pull out an arrow, draw back and aim at the imp that's flying straight at me. Take a breath and release it, remembering what I was taught in middle school about archery. When I'm sure of my shot and know I can't play any longer, I send the arrow flying. Hey, Fisher. Basically, there's low rank and high rank. Okay, so there's no medium rank. Okay, I've heard other people mention high rank before in like their Twitter posts and stream titles and so on and so forth. This means easier fights and harder fights. The story did continue into high rank, but I think I just finished the story. Now to make all the armor. Oh, you got the glam. Yeah, I have seen people talk about like the end game is getting glam. So, so what do you think so far? Are you like, oh my god, this is the best Monster Hunter ever? I love it. Oh, Booba Swipe Rain? I kind of really want a Booba Swipe of my own, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm kind of more on the say-so side, but I want a Booba Swipe and a Booba Jiggle. But yeah, Fisher, how does Wilds compare to the previous games? Because I saw some people kind of complaining that, I mean, mainly IGN, was saying that the game was quite easy. They didn't think it was that hard. And I was like, might be a good one for me, actually, in that regard. Moment when you have no more hair ties? Oh, you're out of hair ties? Arrow hits the demon straight in its ugly little head. He's kind of cute. It's a little ugly cute. And the screech kind of reminds me of Pokemon. With a final frightening sound, the monstrosity falls to the ground. I breathe heavily, collapse into my knees.
I did it!
I am pretty impressed with the main character's voice acting. I do actually like her. I don't remember if it was voice acted in the original demo or not. It's been so long. I could probably look back and find out, but I don't remember. I thumped my balled up fist against the ground, feeling the damp moss beneath my fingers. I breathed deeply again, taking in the smells of the gorgeous forest. They calmed me
I'm
down.
alive.
Tears rolled down my cheeks. I was terrified, but I survived.
Celeste!
Unfortunately, I'm kind of a voice person when I understand the language. You know, like Otome games from Japan, the voice is in Japanese, so I don't care. Not feeling Levi's voice at the moment. Oh, Iko, hello, love. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's story time. We have been murdered by Truckcon and we've been isekai'd into a boys' love web novel, specifically. And now which apparently I guess everyone is actually bi, because we are going to become the main character, and all the love interests from the web novel are going to fall in love with us. So everyone's bi. Of course. And oh, yes, I love the visual novels. I love the Otome game. They're great. They bring me joy. They make me giggle. Sure, it has its issues, but it's really good. It's easy and low rank, very much so, if you're used to Monster Hunter games. To be honest, if you want to try Monster Hunter, just get World when it's on sale. World and Wild are similar enough that it would be cheaper option to try out Monster Hunter game. Yeah, yeah. No. One, I'm broke. So I don't have the money for it anyway. But even if I had the money, I don't. I'm really hesitant to drop money on full price games anymore. Like I'll do it for my Otome games because I'll get the special editions sometimes. Um, but man, there's so many fucking games coming out that I'm like, you know what? I'm probably just better off waiting until they go on sale. Like there's Fantasy Life coming out later, Rune Factory 6, technically. That one I might get when it releases. I'm not sure. But like for example, I bought Tales of Grace's F remastered. So I was like, yeah, so it was on PlayStation 3. I never played it. And I have yet to actually play it. So could probably finish some games before. But that is good to know. Again, I kind of slightly have regrets of not grabbing that Monster Hunter bundle. But I'm sure it'll come back to Humble Bundle at some point. Iko, I am the Lurkin. Oh, have so much fun. It's like 27% off from CD Keys. Ooh, I appreciate it. You know, went on sale, cries and unemployment. Oh yeah, Rain, there's a visual novel fest going on Steam, so a lot of the visual novels are going on sale. Yeah, it's kind of sad actually. Like, ooh, now I do kind of like cheap. So I'm like, okay, if it's not 70% off, then I have to be in love with it to grab it. But I went ahead and I was like, okay, a little bit of money. So I grabbed like two Otomes. I think they're Otomes. One is like Taisho Alice because it's 70% off. And then Super Size My Heart, where you romance like the mascots of fast food. It was like $3. It was like 70% off too. So yeah. So excited for Fantasy Life and Room Factory as well. I am too, but I don't actually finish my game, so I'm like, can I really justify buying this? You know, if the Rune Factory had the special editions where you could get like a Steam code, because I want it on Steam so I can play on my Steam Deck, um, I probably would actually get the Rune Factory special edition. But they never do a special edition where you can get a Steam code. It's always the Switch, and I'm like, I don't want the Switch. I want Steam, because when you get Switch 2 or whatever the fuck is going to come after the Switch, I don't want to have to rebuy games. I want to bully Viv into playing Fantasy Life. I think Viv would really enjoy Fantasy Life. I don't know. It's been a long time since I played Fantasy Life because it was like what, 3DS? We had the last one. I feel like there was a mobile game, mobile version, but I think it was kind of shitty. Um, but based off what I remember, I do feel like Viv would like Fantasy Life. So yeah, but I'm kind of tempted to buy that at full price just because it's been so fucking long since we had a fantasy life. But then it goes back to, do I really have time for it? No, no, I don't. I don't. Do I want to buy it anyway and add it to my backlog and have it rot? Yes, yes I do. So, but it's such a fun, like, it's a fun game. I love it when, like, it's been like a few years of like, okay, we got Diablo 4, played Diablo in my childhood, Baldur's Gate 3, played Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 in my childhood. Fable is getting a new game. Like all the series I liked as a child are getting like new iterations, new Rune Factory, Fantasy Life's coming back. I just need Tomodachi Life 2, which would probably be Switch only, but I could appreciate that. So this is Levi. He's not my favorite in the group, but that's okay. I have other options. There's a Duke. I like Dukes. And there's a Prince. I also like Princes. Levi comes running towards me when he sees the imp dead a few steps away from me and the bow still grasped in my hands. A gasp of surprise escapes his lips.
Celeste! What happened? Did you kill this demon by yourself?
Yes, because I am a boss babe. I went to college to sell beauty products. I nod for a moment, entertaining the thought that I'm indeed Celeste, not Celine. I open my mouth to explain the situation, but my voice sounds raw and shaky. So theoretically, ads should be starting soon in like 6 minutes. And when ads start, I will put up my Beer Up X screen and I will go feed my kitties because they're kind of already starting to like do the little purr thing at me to be like, hey, where's our food? And I was like, you got to wait at least a few more minutes and then you can have food.
I killed the demon.
I finally managed to whisper. Levi walks up to me and kneels down before me.
My lady, can you walk?
I give his question some thought, but I feel so weak. I wipe my tears away.
I don't think so.
I'll carry you.
No, there's no need for...
Ah, we get scooped up anyway. Levi takes me in his arms, bridal style. The bow slips from between my fingers. Let's see, is there a way? I wonder if there's a way to make that go away. Oh, whatever. This is what CG galleries are for. This is where it's like, ooh, pretty art. Pretty art is good. Our close proximity is so embarrassing. I want to hide my face, but I can only do so against his chest, an option, which is less than ideal.
My bow.
Don't worry about the weapon. I will return for your bow later. Right now, it's of utmost importance that I carry you back to the safety of the mansion.
But it's...
I still protest. Levi glares at me.
No buts. Let me do my job, for once.
Let him actually be a knight. Knight in shining armor. I let out a long sigh and stop resisting. Levi walks toward where we left our horses, or so my memory as Celeste recalls. So I really am Celeste now. I'm part of the world of the Saint of the Golden Bow, even though I was supposed to die. So what will my survival mean for the story? Now, we're going to change the story. It's going to be completely different. Nothing will be the same. It will be unpredictable, at least a smidge. There's a giant teddy bear back there and I want it. All washed up, my lady. So we are a noble. We are a rich girl. After an awkward bath where I had to let my maid Linda wash me, I'm finally dressed in a nightgown and allowed to rest. My body feels weak, the shock of dying, reincarnating, then almost dying again, finally taking a toll on me. A loud yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth. I'm going to lie down. Is there anything else you need from me? I forgot. I'm supposed to formally dismiss Linda whenever I want to be alone. She's Celeste's servant after all. I'm good for now. I'll call for you later if I need anything. All right, my lady. Linda curtsies before me and then she exits the room. I sink into the, look at the cute teddy bear. I love giant teddy bears. That's like a pretty tall. It's like a 3 foot or 4 foot tall teddy bear. I do have like a giant cinnamon roll plush from Build-A-Bear. It's like 3 feet. the size of a child. And at night, I put it in my chair desk, on my like desk chair. And then every morning, so that I can actually use my computer, I move Cinnamon Roll and put him on the bed. Fisher, okay, gonna lurk and do some post-stream stuff. You good, you good. I appreciate the raid, and I appreciate you lurking, and I hope you and Viv have a great night. And hopefully eat some food. I'm assuming it's dinner time. I sink into the softness of the mattress, taking a good look around the room. This place has an undeniably expensive, polished, fancy look. Somebody has tried very hard to make the atmosphere more feminine, and I know it wasn't Celeste. The Celeste the book mentions is quite the tomboy, caring little for girly things like dolls and decorations. She doesn't have a good social skills, she lacks proper knowledge of etiquette, she dances like an elephant, she is terrible at being a noble, apparently, or at least being a noble woman. Instead, she's great at archery, hunting, and riding horses. See, this will be useful for not dying. However, the society deems all those activities inappropriate for a lady, and thus she doesn't have many friends. Sounds so much like me in my past life. The only two people who really like Celeste are Levi, who, for some reason that isn't really explained in the book, adores his lady, and Celeste, are you all right? Eurydice. Celeste's twin sister, Eurydice? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. I don't know how to pronounce most things. The book also briefly mentions Eurydice as part of Levi's backstory, simply describing her as the more ladylike twin who loves pink in romance novels. I feel Celeste's emotions for Eurydice in my heart, though. Celeste really cherishes her sister. They are best buds, which I love to see the support in female best friend. Celeste. Eurydice notices that I'm staring at her with a faint smile on my face. By God, I wish there was some voice acting here. I don't know how to pronounce her fucking name. I don't do well with trying to figure out how to pronounce words correctly. I'm alright. Thanks for worrying about me. She rushes over to my bed, fixing the pillow under my head and helping me sit up. Of course I'm worried about you. You're my beloved sister. What would I do if I lost you? I'm fine. I've been through worse. Levi was with me. Levi was with me. Nothing bad could have happened to me under his protection. You think I don't know how... Words. You think I don't know how you always run off from Levi during your hunts? Making excuses that you have to be alone because he's stomping too loud, scaring your prey off? Busted. I know that it's exactly what Celeste has always done, and this is why Celeste died in the original story. I take a glance at Celeste's memories, wondering if she ever realized Levi was in love with her, and if running off was her way of trying to avoid the awkwardness of his puppy-like adoration. I feel a touch of awkwardness, unsure of how to deal with the way Levi has always viewed her. The situation wasn't comfortable for Celeste at all. Push her feelings aside to focus on my conversation with Eurydice. You got me. Did you split from Levi this time too, sister? I did. Figures. Eurydice lets out an annoyed sigh. I give her a wide smile, enjoying our conversation despite her chastising me. I really like having a friend whom I can talk to freely. I really would like to know what happened today, though. Levi babbled something about a demon. Oh, our dad. So what I do remember from playing the last time is that our dad is an ass. I'd like to know more, too, for that matter. Father walks into the room without knocking or otherwise warning us of his presence. He has a stern look on his face, but that's just his usual expression. The joy I felt at talking to Eurydice momentarily evaporates. New emotions from Celeste surface in my heart. Her father has always made her feel lesser and inadequate. I review her memories of him and curse inwardly. To say her father favors Eurydice wouldn't at all capture the severe inequality of the situation. Ads should be starting soon, I do believe. During some of their past interactions, he has been outright abusive, belittling Celeste and calling her names. I stiffen my spine, sitting up straight. I took so much shit as Celine, and I'm not going to do it again as Celeste. And it's like, yes, Celeste, yes. We're gonna stand up to good old jackass dad. Would be nice. What happened today that's left? Let's see. What happened today that's left you so disheveled? I look down at myself. The only blemish in my appearance is a scratch on my knee from when I hid in the bushes. The mark is so small that I didn't even notice it while bathing. Otherwise, I'm wearing a fresh nightgown and all cleaned up. There's nothing disheveled about me. He's just being a jerk. I give Father a defiant look. As you can see, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Oh, ad break time? Okay, we're going to put on the Be Right Back screen. Now I'm going to go feed my cats. Hey, babies, you want food? Let's get back to it. My cats are being a tad bit difficult when it comes to eating their food. Hopefully they will actually eat it. And I'm like, one of them is crying, and I'm like, give you food. Food. Okay, back to story time. As you can see, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Father huffs. You and your sister's 18th birthday is in 3 days. We're leaving for the capital the day after tomorrow. If you're not healed up and in top form by then, I'll be up and running by tomorrow. My body feels tired and heavy, but it's nothing a bit of sleep can't fix. I see Eurydice scoot slightly to the left as if taking a step away from Father's negative energy. You'd better be. I don't want you to ruin the Golden Bow ceremony for your sister. You're forbidden to leave the mansion for the next 3 days. That's nothing. I open my mouth slightly. I open my mouth to tell him off. My eyes land on Eurydice. She shakes her head slightly. To honor her wishes, I decided not to agitate Father any further. All right. I nod. I don't feel like going hunting or horseback riding anyway. Someone who quickly notes that I'm not as good at those activities as Celeste should be. It's like, haha, I'm sure I will remember it. So not sure how much of her skills I can access for myself. Levi set me in front of himself on his horse to return us to the mansion earlier, so I have no idea if I actually know how to ride a horse myself. I only rode a horse once or twice with Celine when I was a kid, not nearly enough to match Celeste's experience. Now tell me what happened. I killed a demon. Both Father and Eurydice let out gasps of surprise. You what? Levi said you two had an encounter with the demon, but I assumed he was the one to kill it. I shake my head and smile. I'm like, ha ha ha, it was me, and he's gonna be mad. Anti-emote raid. That's the same person. Ah, yes, it's the same person with the swipe and the pin. Very nice. I shot an imp with my bow. What was such a monstrosity doing in the middle of Lokari Empire lands? We're far from the war front. The imp was conveniently there to kill Celeste for Levi's tragic backstory. There's really not much of an explanation for why the imp was there. Hee. I want to tell the truth, but of course I won't. Father and Eurydice would take me for a madwoman if I babble about them being characters from a novel. It's like, oh, we're gonna put you in a, I don't know what they have in this time period in this world. The church? Yeah, I guess we'd probably maybe take you to the church and be like, hey, she's crazy. I don't know, burn her, maybe? I don't know how this world works, but yeah. More than likely, mad people do not get treated well. They typically don't get treated well anywhere. I don't know, but the monster attacked me, so I killed it. I shrug like my actions were nothing out of the ordinary. After all, in the face of danger, it's kill or be killed. Father sits down on the chair next to the entrance of my room and hides his face in his hands. I knew my daughter wasn't much of a noble lady, but this... He mumbles loud enough for both Eurydice and I to hear him. I mean, would you rather I died like a noble lady? That does actually seem like the father would probably be much happier if we had just died and he didn't have to fuck with us anymore. That's the kind of dad he is. My sister and I share a smile. Where was your night when the demon attacked you? I should choose my words carefully. I don't want Levi to take the blame for my actions. I ran off on him again. I wanted to hunt on my own. Of course. He lets out a long sigh, like I'm burdening him more than he can. My body takes this moment to remind me how tired I am. A big yawn escapes my lips. I cover my mouth with my hand. Rest. Father gets up and gestures for Eurydice to leave. Eurydice nods and walks behind him out of the room. She turns back to me when she's in my doorway and gives me a warm smile. Get some rest. I'll be back later. I return her smile and sink more deeply into the bed, making myself comfortable. It doesn't take long for me to fall into dreamless slumber. When I wake up again, the rays of morning sun pour into my room. Get out of bed, stretch to make sure my body is working properly. I feel refreshed after my long sleep. No more weakness in my limbs. Everything's in order again. I walk to the desk and sit down. I take a fresh sheet of paper, hesitate when I realize there's only a quill for write-in, but I won't be stopped. I produce a few scratchy letters. My handwriting looks horrible. Seems I can't directly access Celeste's skills. After all, that's quite inconvenient. We are fucked, guys. Okay? Just putting that out there. We were so screwed. I can manage to write with a quill, but not very well, and only in English, of course. I have to write down everything I know about the web novel Saint of the Golden Bow so I can organize my knowledge of the world and line it up with Celeste's memories. Scratchy handwriting or not, I need to sort out all my assets. Let's start with the basics. Saint of the Golden Bow is a romantic tragedy fantasy web novel by the Korean web novelist Han Kim. I read the English translation on one of my favorite web novel and comic apps. Webtoon. I'm guessing Webtoon. The story was supposed to be turned into a webcomic and had promo art, which is how I was able to recognize Levi immediately. His design in the artwork even had him in the same outfit he was wearing on the day of the demon attack. Maybe I should also write down what a web novel is. Okay, guys, we are about to learn what a web novel is. I scratched down web novel in big letters. Since the beginning of the 21st century, web novels have been immensely popular in South Korea. They've also been very popular in Japan. For sure. China too. A web novel is a novel first published on the internet. Readers unlock chapters, interact with what they are reading by posting comments. Web novels tend to be very long in order to maximize engagement. Saint of the Golden Bow was an exception. It wasn't that long of a book, but still got over 100 chapters. I wonder how long the chapters are, because usually the chapters I see for web novels, because we have kind of the equivalent going on for the US with a variety of different ones. Like the chapters are usually pretty short, and you end up spending like a stupid amount of money to actually read the book. Like it's way more expensive than if you just bought a book off of fucking Amazon. That's kind of one reason where I'm kind of like, I don't really like web novels, and I don't like web novel apps, and the ones where like, I don't mind Webtoon because it's free, and I had Manta for a while, but then they kept adding stuff, and they're like, oh, hey, you bought the yearly subscription. Too fucking bad. We're still gonna have these titles that you can't read unless you pay for them. So I think I ended that, and I think it ends in June or something. But I'm like, fuck it. Fuck it. Pirate life for me. Let's see. It was translated to English and published on one of my favorite web novel and comic apps. I was grateful for the chance to read it in English, as I don't know Korean. You and me both. I did, actually, when I was in college. I wanted to take Korean and learn Korean, because there's actually not a huge Asian community where I live, but there's there's this Korean church, and they actually have where they will teach you Korean. I think they still do it. I'm not entirely positive. But, so like initially I was like, I don't want to drive out to this church because it's like a 30 minutes away and I'm lazy. I was like, maybe I'll do it at school. We didn't have that. So then I was like, fuck it, I'll take Japanese, whatever. In my last year of school, they actually started having Korean classes. I was super depressed as fuck and just wanted to get the fuck out of college. I was done with college at that point. So I ended up dropping the class after doing it. But I kind of wish I had stuck with it, but I really didn't have time for that. Okay, what a webcomic is. A webcomic is, I pinned down webcomic in big letters on my sheet of paper. Webcomics are often adaptations of web novels. Each episode is published on a reading app as a long vertical strip. Some even feature music composed specifically for the chapters, but those are rare. Unlike other Asian comics like manga, webcomics are in color. They are published digitally too, though sometimes they also end up being printed as books. They do. So actually for like us, it's like 7 Sales are publishing or something, or maybe it's Yin Press. I don't know. There's a couple of light novels that I really like that actually have published that I wouldn't mind buying. I think the first one I did I really liked was called like The Abandoned Empress, and something that was kind of funny. Speaking of like the American like web novel apps, I remember I was like reading this web novel and it was about like werewolves, and I'd already read The Abandoned Empress, and as I was reading the werewolf novel, I was like, this is oddly similar. I was like, the person was banking on that the people who are reading this have not read The Abandoned Empress, because it literally copy and pasted scenes from The Abandoned Empress and just renamed the characters. It was very, very blatant. copyright. And then they changed the ending, I guess. But I mean, I read it anyway. I was like, I'm like, well, but it was kind of funny the entire time reading it. I was like, this is such blatant copy work. Like, I guess to be fair, it's kind of like 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight before she sprinkled when, you know, like 50 Shades of Grey was actually a Twilight fan. Well, also tangent. But I remember going to watch 50 Shades of Grey in the theater. I will hydrate after my story. Me and my friends went and watched 50 Shades of Grey in the theater when it came out. Because we'd also read Twilight. I hadn't read the 50 Shades of Grey book, but what we were doing, like, it was snowing. We were the only people in the theater. It was great, and we were just sitting there being like, "Oh, hey, this is the scene from that part in Twilight, and oh, this is so and so from Twilight." I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Okay, I'll hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate. I'm actually drinking water, just cold water. Wish you could smell the food I cook, even if you don't eat everything. I do. I know you'd love the smell. Oh, I'm not particularly picky when it comes to like eating food. I don't. When I go out to eat, I don't explore a lot, but that's more of I've had too many instances of where I've paid for something and just not liked it. It's not usually because of what it is, but so much of how the place cooked it. Like, I know one place, like, I love mac and cheese, and I love shrimp in mac and cheese. To be honest, I love anything in mac and cheese. I'm a big pasta person, and I got like the most awful shrimp and mac and cheese at a restaurant once that I actually like was like, this is nasty. You need to send it back. So now I kind of stick to simple things when I go out to eat. I was like, y'all can't fuck up salmon. I know you can't. But yeah, I would probably eat whatever you cook. Well, when people hear, for example, that I eat alligator, I get one of two responses. I would try alligator. Um, there are lots of things. Okay, so to be fair, I would not particularly want to eat, like, if I went to another country where they eat cat and dog, something like that, or horse. I don't really want to eat those. I view those as pets. But alligator, yeah, I would try alligator. I don't know if I would like it, but I got someone who's either really interested or they are really repulsed. See, I don't. It's meat. I mean, it's not like alligators are particularly that gross. I mean, it's not like bugs. So I would say don't eat alligator from commercial places. You know, I do actually think there is somewhere in my town that actually has alligator. I think I have seen it on the menu before. I don't feel like we're a good area for it though. I'm like, probably I'd be more likely to try it in, like, I don't know, Florida, Louisiana. But you gotta have it cooked the right way, and a lot of restaurants don't have people passionate about it. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they also don't pay them well, so depending on where you go, whether they actually pay their cook. Like, I remember I dated a guy once, and he was a really good cook. This is great. I don't have to cook. Really good cook. I remember talking to him, I was like, why don't you go be a cook? And he's like, because cooks are poor. He's like, you go to school, and then you suffer and get paid really crappy wages for a very long time, and maybe eventually you luck out and, like, rise up the ranks, and maybe you eventually get in a good position. But he's like, nah, this can be a hobby. I was like, man, that's valid. That's fair. There's a very popular genre of webcomics right now called Otome Isekai. I do like this genre. In those stories, a girl from Earth dies and is reincarnated as a character in a visual novel or a web novel. Yeah, I really like those. There's a couple of other Otome games that have this theme. So there's My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, Pirate Disturbance, which is a Japanese game. There's another one called Save the Villainess, which is an indie Otome Mario game that is coming out in like 2027, I think. It's 2027. I think there's a couple others, and so it's kind of nice to see it branching into the visual novel space. Florida alligator isn't bad, but the best place to eat alligator is Louisiana by far. There isn't even a competition. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going down to Louisiana. I haven't been in a long time. I have family. My aunt and uncle live down in like Baton Rouge. Um, so I've been there a couple times. I got to go once in college for I did marching band. So like our school was playing against LSU, I guess. I don't know. I'm one of the colleges down there. So we got to go party on Bourbon Street. That was pretty fun. I'm not a big alcohol person. It's not so much that I don't. It's not like a matter of like liking alcohol. It's more of I'm just cheap and don't want to spend the money, the alcohol cost. I think it would be fun to go down to Louisiana. I do also think it would be fun. Like you can go and in some places, like there's a train that runs from New Orleans to Chicago. So over a couple days. I don't remember how long it takes to get down to from New Orleans to Chicago. Obviously, it stops at cities in between, but I do kind of think it would be kind of fun to do like a train ride where you spend the night on the train and go from Chicago to New Orleans. Don't know if I'll ever do that, but like would be fun to experience once, right? I refuse to go to New Orleans, but I've already told you why. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's fair, but the place to go. I went down, the other time I went that was more recent was I went down for a sumo tournament when I was doing sumo wrestling. That was a few years ago. I think that was before I started streaming. Once I started streaming, I kind of stopped exercising. And then I got on Ozempic, and now I don't need to exercise. I just take a shot. I really should start exercising again. It's a goal for this year. I don't know if it's a goal that's gonna happen, but I keep telling myself I should actually start exercising again, like a run or something. I'm convinced that there is no better place for food in the U.S. than Louisiana. I mean, it depends on what you like. If you like Cajun, I mean, you like Cajun food, right? So you have a bias. Where would I want to eat? I'll be honest, I would probably want to go eat at a bunch of Asian places. So, would it be affordable food? No. No, California is really fucking expensive. But I really love fish. So, like, being right on the water, and then there's a much larger Asian population and Asian variety over in California. I like Asian food in general. So I would love to get to go to kind of more authentic Asian. Like we have a variety of Asian population where I live, like, quite a bit of Japanese, Chinese, Korean, Indian, some Thai. But not like a crazy amount. So also like non-processed meat that isn't pumped full of chemicals like the shit in stores is. Yeah, I don't care. It's whatever. Worldwide, I'd probably say the best place for food, at least my taste, is Japanese, and that's genuine, not just because I Japanese would be my favorite of the all. Yeah, I do pretty heavily lean Japanese. It is quite different when you're over there, but I would say I enjoyed the food. I also enjoyed when I was over there. I mean, it's been like a decade, so it could be quite different. Food was quite affordable. Like a bowl of there was like this udon shop that I went to a lot. It was like a train stop away from my dorm. And I think the bowl of udon with like 2 pieces of tempura shrimp was like $4 or $5. It was really nice. Actually, it was quite affordable. Now the downside was like groceries were kind of expensive over there. Probably because they're not putting like a ton of shit in them. like the loaf of breads you could get over there had like max 10 pieces, and I was like, why the fuck is your bread so short? Mine, you know, my loaf of bread usually has double. And I don't know, I assume that's because potentially it goes bad faster. They don't put as much stuff in their food. But and meat was incredibly expensive. Other than fish. Fish was obviously not crazy expensive. They're a fucking island. Now if you went to like American, so you know kind of like how we have American Chinese, you go to like Japanese American restaurants over there where it's supposed to be like, oh hey, this is like a pasta restaurant, as if you were eating at like France, or there was like a hamburger place that's supposed to be like American food. And then of course like they have McDonald's and stuff. McDonald's is pretty cheap, but the other stores like were quite expensive for what you got, so I didn't really eat at those too much. Derry, Monster Hunter, fun game. Oh, have you been playing it, Derry? Have you been loving it? What's this? This is Saintess of the Golden Bow, an Otome game. It's story time. We've been talking about food, so we have not made a ton of progress. But this is a Otome game. The dev reached out to me like last September to play through the demo then, and I did, and I enjoyed it. And they updated the demo for Steam Next Fest and the Visual Novel Fest that is ongoing right now. So I figured I would go ahead and play through it again and see what they've changed. It's probably going to take a couple streams to get through, to be honest, because we yap and we talk about food and other things. But how are you doing, Derry? So I think the demo now is supposed to be like 3.5 hours, which means it'll probably take like 7 hours stream time to actually get through. So, how you been doing? And have you been playing Monster Hunter? Did you get the new game? I'm not a Monster Hunter person, but I feel like every single other person that I know has been playing Monster Hunter. I feel a little bit of FOMO. I feel a little left out. And I'm like, I don't have the money for it. I don't need to buy it. Fruit? Final Fantasy fruit? Fruit and Monster Hunter? In those stories, a girl from Earth dies and is reincarnated as a character in a visual novel or web novel. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? I let out a long sigh. I've been isekai, haven't I? Yes, we have! You're great at stream. Final Fantasy Fru. Oh, congratulations. Fru is actually, I do want to do Fru. And I know the guys that I know who usually do like ultimates on tier, whatever, when they drop, we're talking about how Fru is on the easier side in comparison to DSR and top. So I'm like, maybe I'll actually do Fru at some point. Depends on if I'm still playing the game or not. I really haven't been logging into Final Fantasy. And like, I want to do the PvP battle pass, but I don't hate myself to do the PvP to get Mog Tomes. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait because I didn't raid, so I don't have the gear for it. And I'm like, I don't want to get the gear for it. So I'm like, I'll just wait till the next maybe do it. Maybe I'll never do it. The weapons sure are damn pretty though. But yeah. Japanese people are also trying to live forward and do new things with food, and they're very, I like to say, flavor curious, and I love that about them. So are Cajun people of South Louisiana. Okay. I just liked in Japan that I ate very cheap, and I kind of regret I didn't really eat like at a ton of Japanese restaurants. There's this udon place I went to quite a bit. I went to Nomihodai, which is basically an alcohol buffet. I went to an izakaya, a pub, and I drink a lot of Kahlua milk and various cashews drinks. With the izakaya, they have like a variety of like bar type food. So I did those a couple times, but I mainly ate at McDonald's. I ate at McDonald's a lot because there's a McDonald's on my campus. I was like, fuck yeah, give me a steak and french fries. And I ate at Matsuya quite a bit because there's also one on my campus. So I would go eat there every morning. Matsuya is basically like the cheap Japanese fast food. Um, but it was so fucking good. Like they had donburi. I got salmon every single morning. They had like a salmon set for breakfast with like salmon, miso soup, rice, nori. I was like, this is great. And then I tried cooking like my own food because I did have like a little kitchen thing in my dorm. Um, but groceries are so expensive, it really wasn't worth it. It's like eat out for every single day. I think what else did I eat? I went to Sweets Paradise a couple times. That was like a little it's like a dessert buffet. They also have curry. Um, and they also do a bunch of collabs with various games and animes and stuff and do merch stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. There's quite a few of them throughout Japan. Um, where else did I go? There was this other like little random anime cafe in Machida. So Machida was like a little city near my dorm. It's like south of Tokyo. It was like a stop away, so I'd go there a lot. Because they'd have Starbucks and they had McDonald's, and then they had an udon place, and they had this little cafe that would have like clubs with animes and stuff. So I'd love to go and get the little desserts there. I also went to in Akihabara. There's this hot dog shop. It has all kinds of different hot dogs. Great. But I also went to the Square Enix Cafe, the Artina, which is the cafe actually in their building, or right outside their building. I went there twice. That was pretty good. I would go back. And I did not go to the Eorzea Cafe for Final Fantasy 14 because I was not playing Final Fantasy 14 then, and I have regrets. And I'm gonna go to it when I go back. I'm hoping to go back to Japan in the next couple years. If I get a job, it will be for sure. If I don't get a job, then a little bit debatable. So it's not bad. Would you do Fru on Summoner? Yeah, I don't really have anything else leveled. Like, I could probably, like, I haven't played Red Mage very heavily in a long time. I could probably do it on Red Mage. And then Picto, I tried Picto, and I'm not good at Pictomancer in any shape or form. So that big damage that comes from Picto, I can't do that big damage that comes from Picto. You'll want to wait then. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna wait anyway. I don't want to. The raid gear is, yeah. Like, I know the raid gear will change, especially as we get the second, the third tier anyway. And I'm probably not gonna raid. I think probably the max I'm gonna do is maybe the Unreals. I just don't want to spend the time raiding anymore and spending the time in Party Finder. It's awful. If I got into static, I might consider raiding, but still, like, it's quite a bit commitment. You're committed at least like probably 6 hours at least. And I don't know, like, I feel like the rating system needs to be changed. Why the fuck should I have to do the first fight every single week when everyone in my group has all the gear from it? I think that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Yeah, doing Summoner and Party Finder at the moment is probably impossible. Red Mage, you could get away with. Yeah, I actually heard, I was like, the one expansion I don't play Red Mage, and they're actually, Red Mage is doing better than Summoner. I was like, oh, Cry, I got a sub for the cutest cry mode ever again. Congratulations, Rain. Sweet. But yeah, so this is going to be 2025 is going to be probably the era of Adri not playing Final Fantasy that much. Now, granted, the new Exploration Zone may drop, and that plan may completely get obliterated. But at the moment, I kind of want to play like other games and actually finish them. And I have a addiction problem kind of when it comes to games. Like, I don't do very well casually playing the games. I just don't. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep my sub for Final Fantasy. Like, that's not a concern. I'm going to keep my sub. I'm going to keep my house. I'm going to try to take a much more, like, casual approach. And, I need to do the Unreal this week. I need to do the Unreal. I need to farm Mog Tomes for the stupid earring and the stupid Queen's Barden and an Orchestrion Scroll. I need to do PvP to get the fucking outfit from the Battle Pass. And I'm kind of just like, oh man, I kind of hate every minute of doing PvP. I'm very tired of PvP. I don't know, maybe I should drag Crystalline Conflict. I don't know. I don't know if that's really that much better than front lines. So, I don't know. I will be going back, like, when the patch drops, right, for the story. I will go do the story. So I might stream that whenever it drops. No, I'm just not feeling the raid. I want to play other games. Like, so, obviously I'm trying to work on my Otome games. Somewhat. But, like, I want to play the shit out of Infinity Nikki. And I should go finish Dragon Age Veilguard because I bought that game brand spanking new. And I really should go play Baldur's Gate 3 because I also bought that game full price. And I should actually probably beat it at least once. And I want to finish Hades. So, too many games, not enough time. And MMOs are a time sink. But I love them. I love them so much. Like, I don't need to join this, but there are some Final Fantasy VTubers in their communities that have made a Ragnarok online server. And it's gonna have, you know, if you're a VTuber in your community, you can come play. And I'm like, I don't need to play another MMO, but I like to play MMOs, and it's an addiction. I don't make a great decision sometimes. I've been isekai'd, not as a villainess though, a bad character. Like in most of these stories, instead I'm what is referred to as an extra, an insignificant character. But Derry, how have you been doing otherwise, and what have you been up to besides Fru? Maybe that's for the best. After all, being a minor character means I couldn't have messed up the story too much by avoiding my planned death in the plot, right? Wrong. Very wrong. You're mistaken. Only time will tell. What BL is? What BL is? Oh, everyone's favorite genre. I don't play BL as much as I used to, time-wise, but I did get a key through Keymailer for a BL visual novel, so we will be playing that probably not next week, but the week after. Next week, I'm going to be playing another Otome demo for a game that Nochi is going to develop. And I have a BL. Almost time to eat? Yeah, Rain. Hope you enjoy that food. I may have to go back and get some more pasta. So one thing I am super excited about, and because we're talking about food, gosh, I feel so silly being excited about this, but like I went to the sushi buffet thing where it's like all you can eat sushi, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. So my sister is a teacher. You know, she has no life. She teaches, but she has spring break next week. So like me, her, my mom, and my mom's friend, we're actually gonna go to the sushi buffet place to eat for lunch next week. So I'm excited about that because it was really good when I went, and I'm like, yeah, I'm getting to go back. It's the little things that bring joy into your life. What BL is? I scribble BL on the paper. Boys Love is a genre of Asian media that centers around relationships between two men, but is geared towards the female audience. It's romantic and simply wonderful to watch two men fall in love with each other. Yes. Yes, it is. Ah, I'm really such a simp for a good BL romance. Nothing else, I've got the basics, that's enough. I get up for a moment and wander over to the mirror. I touch a hand to the glass. Hey, it's us. The design of Celeste wasn't included in the promo art. I take in my new features, purple hair and pink eyes and a slender figure. Weird noises. There's no denying it. I'm really not Celine anymore. The understanding that I have reincarnated... Words. The understanding that I have reincarnated into the novel finally settles in my mind. I feel calm. calmer than I ever thought I would be if something out of a novel suddenly changed the course of my life. There is no fight in the reality, is there? As strange as the situation is, I'm Celeste and I have her memories. But somehow I'm Selena as well. Two souls trapped in a body. Equipped with knowledge of this world that Celeste never had. I walk back to the desk and sit down to continue organizing my thoughts. So, like, I do love the isekai genre, and I always love, like, the twists and turns that it takes. And we're not going to learn about the twists and turns that this story is going to take because this is a demo. But I'm very excited. I can't wait. I want to see where they go with this. Maybe after I process everything, I will break down and cry about my fate. Right now, however, I don't feel like moping around. Instead, I want to fight for a better fate. Back to Saint of the Golden Bow. The book starts with Celeste's death event. Levi was in love with this lady for years, but the actual love interest of the story is Prince Noah. Celeste has to die at the beginning of the book to make Levi feel at his lowest when the Golden Bow chooses him as a saint. Why didn't Celeste save herself if she was said to be so great at archery? It was possible for me to use my mediocre skills to defeat the demon. Must be book logic. You had to die for the story and the Saint of the Golden Bow to proceed the way it did. I mean, I'm kind of surprised they made her as rambunctious as she was in that case, but you know, whatever. Plot armor. Or, I guess, not really plot armor. Plot poison? Plot death? Plot arrow? Soon after Celeste's death, Levi's quest to save the Lokari Empire from the Demon Queen begins. However, he doesn't go alone. Noah, as well as High Priest Elijah, the second love interest, both accompany him on the journey. Noah and Levi fall in love. Elijah falls in love with Levi too, but Levi chooses Noah. I'm not gonna lie, I would choose the prince over the priest also. Biased, I love princes. When the final confrontation with the Demon Queen happens, the love Noah and Levi share is an important component of defeating the fiend. Through their love, the magic of the weapon becomes stronger. However, this story is a tragic one. Even though Levi defeats the Demon Queen, he perishes in the process. Oh, that's not good. The name of this game is Saintess of the Golden Bow. We are taking Levi's place, which means we'll need to die in Levi's place. Oh. But Celeste doesn't know that yet. She doesn't know she's in a game. Noah and Elijah live on, and peace returns to the Lokari Empire. I remember crying at the end of the book and cursing the author for writing such a beautiful yet heart-wrenching tale. I've reread the novel twice. Saint of the Golden Bow is really one of my favorite stories. I still don't appreciate being reincarnated into this world, though. Especially not as Celeste, whose only purpose in the story is to add angst to Levi's life. I didn't die when I was supposed to, though, and now the story has continued regardless. I wonder how many things will change now because Celeste is alive. Will I still be able to fall in love with Noah despite the fact that I'm still here? He seems pretty hung up on Celeste after all. I look into Celeste's memories to examine her feelings about Levi. I sense a mixture of emotions: anger, awkwardness, desperation. Celeste didn't like to be on the receiving end of Levi's feelings. She badly wanted him to stop looking at her with romantic intent. Ooh, poor Levi. Poor Celeste. That's really awkward. What Celeste really needed was to have a friend in him, not a lover. As a noble lady, she especially found his feelings for her inappropriate. She even tried to set him up with other people of various genders who were in his station. Levi always admitted they were attractive whenever she asked, but he never expressed any romantic interest. Celeste was the only one for him. Levi's responses frustrated Celeste to the point that she tried her best to get away from him, which ultimately led to her death. Oh, what a sad relationship. I can't quite hate Celeste for being cold to Levi now that I know her distress about his love for her, but at the same time I do pity Levi. Levi was this obsessed with Celeste. How had he moved on to Noah so quickly? His change of heart wasn't really explained in the novel, and I remember some people voicing their opinions on the forums about how unrealistic this plot point was. I had always ignored those complaints because I really adored the Noah and Levi relationship. Celeste would surely have disapproved of it, though, considering the boys had vastly different positions in society. But the forbidden aspect of their romance was what had made everything more exciting to me as a modern reader. Ugh, I really want my ship to sail and for the boys to get together, but I don't know if that outcome is possible with Celeste still being alive. Very much not. This is an Otome game now. There is no options for BL at this point, as far as I know. It would be kind of funny if, like, I don't know, you end up getting with like Noah and Levi and the priest guy to get together now. I don't know. That would be kind of funny. Let's see. Levi was clearly at least bisexual, judging from his response to the romantic candidates Celeste had presented to him, but that fact didn't matter if he was unwilling to consider any other lovers. Maybe he would still change his mind if he met Noah. Maybe it would be a greater love one established at first sight. If Levi and Noah don't fall in love at the end of the quest, will Levi still be able to defeat the Demon Queen? Like, if they don't fall in love, are we all going to die? Like, I don't particularly want to die. I shudder. What if I've broken the story beyond repair by avoiding my demise? What if I've doomed us all? What was I supposed to do, though? Just die? Yeah. That's so not like me. I'm a fighter. Maybe I can change the story even further so that Levi can still survive the final encounter. I have no idea how to make this plan work, but maybe opportunities to influence the world further will present themselves to me. After all, though the thought is chillin', what's happening here isn't just a web novel story. Saint of the Golden Bow is my new reality. On the day of Celeste and Eurydice's 18th birthday, Father takes us to the capital to attend the Golden Bow ceremony. Levi had his 18th birthday a few days ago as well. Since he's of lower standing than the Count's family, Father got the approval of the church for Levi to attend our ceremony together with us instead of his own a few days earlier. Your knight has to guard you at all times, Father had said to Celeste before I reincarnated into her body. After the encounter with the imp, he's become even more convinced that Levi shouldn't leave my side. Not that Levi is complaining about having to stick close to me for obvious reasons. Now, Eurydice, Levi, and I stand in the middle of the chapel in the royal palace in Solus, Lokari Empire's capital. Behind us are the many other people who will be tested. And this is Elijah. Before us, the high priest Elijah Soren takes a spot behind the titular golden bow, the fabled artifact that will choose the saint one day. I know that day will be today, since Levi is the one who will be chosen. I the bow's suspicion. Light reflects off its gold-covered surface. The design is pretty and elaborate. It's like a pain in the ass to use as a weapon. Too ornamental for my taste. I think it looks adorable. But she's probably right. Like, where do you hold it?
We are all gathered here today to see if the golden bow, the weapon given to us by our Lord to help us one day defeat the vile Demon Queen, will finally choose its saint. On this beautiful morning, when the sun's rays fall through the windows of our chapel, let us give our gratitude to the Lord. He has given us means to end the war that has been raging for so many decades.
I've never been particularly religious, even in my past life. I especially don't believe in a fantasy god, but...
Let us give our gratitude.
Let us give our gratitude.
Eurydice and Levi bow their heads and say the words of a prayer. Along with all the other people in the hall, I mumble the words as well.
Let us give our gratitude.
I don't want to draw suspicion to myself, after all.
20 years ago, the blessed blacksmith was bestowed with the Lord's inspiration and crafted the golden bow. He worked tirelessly day and night until finally he completed the artifact. Ever since then, the people of the Lokari Empire have sought to be tested on the day of their 18th birthday by the golden bow. The artifact will choose its wielder.
By the way, spoiler, the game is called Saintess of the Golden Bow. So, FYI, we are about to become the Saintess.
That person will become the saint and be tasked with defeating the Demon Queen, who has terrorized our borders for 23 years.
I'm glad Elijah reminds us of the history of the bow. I've forgotten some of the details.
I will now call forth today's attendees to be tested. Each of you just needs to touch the golden bow once, and its judgment will be bestowed on you.
Elijah takes out a sheet of paper and reads the first name from the list. Eurydice de Queres, daughter of Count de Queres. I have no idea how to say that last name. Eurydice approaches the bow. She puts a hand on the artifact. Nothing happens. Of course, what else did I expect? Levi is the saint. The golden bow will only glow for him. A frown appears on the high priest's brow as he reads the next name. Celeste Aquarius, daughter of Count Aquarius. Take a deep breath and step onto the podium. Remind myself I shouldn't expect anything. Put my hand on the weapon. For a moment, nothing happens, but then the bow glows. Its light getting brighter and brighter with each second, because we are the Saintess. The light feels scorching hot. I close my eyes, worrying I'll go blind if I don't. You must fight on. I hear the angelic voice again. Was the bow the one speaking to me when I reincarnated, or was it the god of light himself? Like, maybe I should be religious. The thought that I may have been addressed by a deity is frightening. Yeah, I'd be fucking terrified. Because, you know, just saying, depending on the world you're in, not necessarily, like, the best things to be, like, have paying attention to, right? Right? Sometimes they do crazy shit. No. Gods are not real. You're not religious, Celine. The golden bow. The burning light makes my skin feel like it's on fire, so I take my hand away from the bow, but my hand continues burning. The searing pain climbing up my arm to my chest. Like, I am burning. What the fuck, guys? I can't scream. Just FYI, I don't scream. I scream, which is why I don't play horror games, because I can't physically scream. I don't know how to scream. I don't do it. I freeze up. I get real quiet when I get scared. I'm not entertained to watch if I was to play horror games, fortunately. I scream. My head is spinning. The pain is too much for me to handle. I want it to stop. Stop. I'm on fire. I'm dying. Not again. Lady Celeste. Sister. Levi and Eurydice are calling to me, but I don't have the strength to respond. My consciousness fades, darkness taking me into its comforting embrace. I feel so groggy. I'm in the guest room of the apartment that was assigned to our family when we first arrived at the palace for the ceremony. The impersonal decor makes the palace feel cold and unwelcoming. I know the room is supposed to look grand and elegant, but I don't feel at home here at all. Lady Celeste can't be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The role is too dangerous for her. That was Levi saying that. I turn my head to Levi. Levi and Eurydice are stand by the door. Neither of them notice I'm awake. Just imagining her going on the dangerous quest to defeat the Demon King makes me terrified for her life. I have to stop the church and the Empress from declaring her to be the Saintess. Levi, that's not how it works at all. Not for us to decide who the Saintess is, and neither is it the choice of the church or the Empress. It's the God of Light who singled out Celeste to be the savior of our empire. This has to be some kind of mistake. Levi, you're committing blasphemy here. You can't go against God's wishes. Lady Celeste is. Look, I know you're worried for my sister, but please mind your words. If someone other than me hears your opinion about God's choice, you may get in trouble. So I really am the Saintess of the Golden Bow. Yeah. That's what the game is called. So if you're surprised by this, you shouldn't be. I speak up, not believing my own words. Levi and Eurydice turn to me. Eurydice runs up to the bed and takes my hand in hers. Celeste, you're awake. How are you feeling? Fine, I think. Just a bit tired. You really scared us in the chapel. You screamed like someone was tearing you apart. Yes, because the god was burning me alive. The light of the bow entering my body felt like it was burning me. That sounds horrible. Tears well up in Eurydice's eyes. I squeeze her hand, trying to comfort her. I glance behind her to where Levi still stands by the door. He has a defeated look on his face. When he notices me watching him, he finally approaches the bed, standing behind Eurydice. I can't be the Saintess. I was supposed to. I cut myself off when I realized I almost just said Levi was supposed to be chosen saint. Can't tell them what happens in the book. They don't even know they live in a fictional world. Okay, heads up. Ads are going to start in like 5 minutes. During ads, I will put on the Be Right Back screen, and I'm going to go check on my cats and see if they actually ate their food. Potentially the mama cat ate all the food that is meant for the baby, but also sometimes. For some explicable reason, For some inexplicable reason, the Golden Bow, or the God of Light himself, has chosen me instead as the savior of the Lokari Empire. Why me? Wonder out loud, I'm so confused. I don't want to be the Saintess. Why has the story suddenly changed so much? I only did my best to survive. Did the fact that I wasn't slain by the demon really create such a severe butterfly effect? Yes, Rain. Or had I already been chosen at the moment of my reincarnation? This food was so much better than expected. So that means you have to make more of it and eat it more often. Exactly what. But I'm happy to hear that your dinner turned out well. Kind of makes me a little bit hungry. After I finish stream, I don't need to eat food, but I might go eat some pasta. I had leftover pasta, and I'm gonna probably eat it. You gotta try how I cook catfish, and bet you'll like it. I mean, if you want to send it over to me through Discord, I will not promise that I will try it, but I will consider it. Theoretically, I should be able to find catfish. Catfish are pretty rampant where I live, so no issues there. Or had I already been chosen at the moment of my reincarnation? I remember the angelic voice of the bow sounding just like the voice I had heard after dying in the accident at Celine. I'm sure you'll do fine. You're excellent at archery. No, we're not. Not anymore. Purity smiles through her tears, trying to reassure me. I am not as confident about my fighting skills as Eurydice is. Celeste may have been good at the bow, but I can't access her full abilities. See, Rain, I cook with feeling. That's the thing. I don't write recipes down. Oh, okay. Okay, but how do you cook? You throw the catfish in a pan and you had the juices from the lamb in it already, and did you add like butter or any salt or anything, or just the juices from like the lamb? After almost 2 years of cooking, I'm confident in my flavor and seasonings. Judging by my handwriting, I can only manage the bare minimum of what she could do. I'm not proficient in any of her skills. I only know how to use the bow somewhat from my experience as Celine in middle school. Oh, this whole situation is so depressing. It's like realizing it's like, you're gonna die. It's like, I'm gonna die again. I died and I got reincarnated and I have to go on this stupid quest and I'm gonna die again. Like, what the hell? What is this RNG? Some people get to be, I don't know, like, just get to live a fun, noble life and get married. I have to go on a mission to defeat a demon queen. No, I mustn't lose heart. I have to stay strong and face my fate head on. What's going to happen to me now? The Empress has summoned you for an audience 3 hours from now. What does the Empress want with me? Grace wiped her tears away. She didn't say, but we think she intends to personally congratulate you on your new role. Alright, I suppose I should start getting ready then. First, High Priest Elijah requested to check on you as soon as you woke up. Let's see, okay, Rin. Lamb juice, garlic, herb butter, minced garlic, small bit of Worcester sauce, small bit of soy sauce. I assume W is like the Worcester sauce or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying that, but and before all that, season decently. Don't kick it like with Cajun seasoning and black. I bet it'd be even better with steak juices. Bacon fat. Okay, so like bacon fat being added into anything is generally very good. Very good. Soaks it up. I also love bacon. His light magic he wants. So yeah, I'd be more likely if I was going to try it, probably try it with steak or the bacon juices. I'm probably not going to cook lamb anytime. With his light magic, he wants to see if your body and mind are all right after being touched by God's grace. Catfish is so soft when it's fully cooked. It's so nice. Yeah, I mean, most fish gets pretty. But yeah. Oh, okay, so ads should be starting soon. The little banner thing went away. I gotta wait for a pop-up to say ads are started, though. I'm feeling okay, but I suppose I shouldn't turn away a member of the church. Not like blah 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 word. Not complying with their wishes might be dangerous now that I'm somewhat part of their organization. The reality is so overwhelming that I would really prefer to be alone now, but there's no time for me to mull over what has happened. The chance to break down will come later after everyone goes to sleep. Okay, you can tell the high priest I will see him. I'll go bring him here. Levi turns around and walks out of the room in long strides. Eurydice gives me a comforting smile. I love her outfit. Flower. So cute. Everything's going to be okay. I hope so too. Silence falls between us, but it's a cozy, warm kind of quiet. I get the feeling that no matter what happens, Eurydice will support me. I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. Okay, ads have started. Be right back. What's going on? Okay, sorry about that. I am back. I am done checking on the kitties. Okay, so let's continue on with story time. Okay. We are at the Saintess of the Golden Bow. And probably stream-wise, I'm gonna probably go for another 45 minutes. And then at that time I will tap out. It will be pumpkin time. I need to go take a shower and start kind of getting ready for bed. And so we'll have to see who to raid. Oh, I don't know who's on. Foxy may still be going tonight. So probably potentially Foxy. I have a feeling there's probably not too many people streaming this game at the moment. So we may see if there's someone streaming this game. And if not, we'll find a friend to raid and say hi to. I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. I should use this opportunity to ask Yuridy some questions about my situation. I'll just have to be careful about how I broach the topics. I don't want to reveal my jumbled knowledge about the world. What does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? The Saintess is the fourth most important person in the Lokari Empire after the Empress, her Emperor Consort, and the Crown Prince. It was Noah, I'm pretty sure. You're on par with the head of the church, the High Priest. Am I part of the church now? You're not a priestess, if that's what you're asking. You're still a noble, so you can marry someone of noble standing if you like. You're not sworn like the clergy to only marry within the church. I remember the subplot regarding Elijah. He was unable to be with Levi because Elijah was only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. Forbidden love. Popular trope. I do like that trope, I'm not gonna lie. It was an unusual plot point for a web novel to explore a religious figure fallen in love. I don't feel like that's a very unusual plot point for a web novel. I feel like that comes up quite a bit, actually. Still, people had admired the author for bringing something different to the table, even though the main ship had remained Noah and Levi. Marriage, that feels so far away. We're 18 now, so Father will probably help us find suitable suitors soon. Suitable suitors. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. I would like to marry for love, if at all possible. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levi and Noah's love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was a Saintess? With the power of love, we will defeat the Demon Queen, so yes? I hope we'll have enough time, if that's really necessary. I'm not someone who falls in love easily. Wait, does that mean I have to pursue one of the guys? Do you have someone in mind for marriage? What? Maybe. You can tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody. Maybe another time. I'm not ready to admit it myself. I chuckle. Eurydice is adorable when she's shy. How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? As the High Priest said, the Golden Bow was created by the Blessed Blacksmith 20 years ago, before we were even born. I feel like these questions are basically saying, hey, I don't pay attention in school. I just like to go horseback riding and shooting things. So your sister does not seem too concerned about your lack of knowledge. They say he worked tirelessly day and night for 2 weeks to create the artifact. The design was bestowed upon him by the god of light himself. The Blessed Blacksmith said God told him in a dream that the Golden Bow will choose its saint when the time is right. Only the saint can wield the weapon and harness its power. Eurydice tells me words. I get tongue-tied a little bit sometimes. What Eurydice tells me aligns with the backstory I already know from the novel, but it's good to be reminded about the details. I listen intently. What kind of power does the Golden Bow have? Light-aligned magic, the kind that the priests wield. It is said that only an arrow shot from the artifact will be able to kill the Demon Queen. The usual fantasy world MacGuffin then. For plot reasons, other weapons can't harm the ultimate boss. Right? Makes sense. It doesn't, but Eurydice doesn't seem to be aware of how ridiculous it is that the only one weapon wielded by one special person can kill the enemy that the Empire's been fighting against for decades. Also very much normal in web novels, webtoons. After the Golden Bow was created, the whole Lokari Empire and our allied kingdom of Durandal were tested to see if the saint was among them, but the savior wasn't found. Later, it was decided that every person would get tested on their 18th birthday as suggested by the Blessed Blacksmith. 20 years passed, but the saint still wasn't found until now. It feels so random that I was actually chosen as a Saintess, but it's my reality now. This world seems to operate on book logic anyway. What do we know about the Demon Queen? The people who have seen her say she looks like a beautiful woman, except she also has horns, a tail, and a third eye on her forehead. But she's far from human. She's cruel and dangerous. She kills humans without mercy. She commands an army of demons, vile monstrosities. Saw one. Was it as ugly as they say? It's kind of ugly cute. Imp wasn't pretty, that's for sure. The war has been going on for 23 years now. Over that time, 1/3 of Lokari Empire's lands to the east have been ravaged by war and infiltrated by the demons. They leave only ruins behind when they take over a town. Their fire is said to be ever burning. You'll have to travel east to defeat the Demon Queen. She's taken up residence in the Claumond Castle. Claumond? It used to be the seat of Duke Claumond and his family, but they had to have been in their homeland to the demons 10 years ago. That news doesn't make me want to go to the border at all. It'll be like walking straight into the maws of the enemy. I fear you won't have a choice in the matter. The Empress decreed long ago that once the Saint or Saintess was found, they would immediately embark on the quest to defeat the Demon Queen with a party of the most capable fighters. Quest, huh? Sounds like a story from a role-playing game. Not that I expect anything else from this book world. Levi went on this quest as the Saint, after all. I just hope you won't have to leave too soon. I think I'll need some time to learn to wield the golden bow and to accept the whole situation. I'm sure the Empress will understand. Those are all the questions I have right now. At least. Thank you for helping me sort through everything, sister. Eurydice gives me a bright smile. That's what I'm here for. One thing's for certain, the people of the Lokari Empire have been waiting for the Saintess for ages. A lot of faith will be put into your abilities. A lot will be expected from you. I don't envy you. If I could, I would share this burden with you. Thank you. I'm really moved by Eurydice's dedication to me. There's a knock on the door, then Levi's voice can be heard from the other side. High Priest Elijah and Count Aquarius have arrived. Sorry, my cat made a funny noise. They can enter. Elijah! Elijah comes into the room, followed by Father. Levi closes the door behind them, remaining in the living room of our apartment to guard the entrance. The high priest bears a friendly smile. Father, on the other hand, wears his usual scowl on his face. Do you want attention, baby? My cat is yelling at. Do you want some pets? Come on, baby. Come over here. I will pet you as I read my book. Okay, I'm gonna kind of be situated kind of funny, but he seems like he wants to say something. I give him an inquiring look, which is met with a glare. And baby, stop moving so I can pet you. I can't pet you if you go under my chair where I can't reach. Oh no. Mama wants pets too. Maybe I won't make it 45 minutes. Because they are like, we want attention and we want attention now. Oh, Callie's up on my desk. Yeah, she wants attention. No. Okay, off the desk. He seems like he wants to say something. I give him an inquiring look, which is met with a glare. I don't know if I should laugh or cry at the fact that his disposition towards Celeste hasn't changed, even in the middle of such a life-threatening situation. What does Celeste have to do for her father to show her affection? If I had any hope that he would be proud of me now that I had suddenly advanced to a great position in the hierarchy of the Empire, it evaporates now. Your dad is like, fuck you. I hate you. Always. No matter what you do, you are always a failure. So the fun thing about having two cats is they play together, but when cats play, they kind of look like they're doing little bouts of Mortal Kombat. I decided not to say anything to Father while Elijah is around. I don't want him to witness a fight between us, and I doubt I can hold my tongue right. May I sit beside you? Sure. Elijah approaches and sits beside me on the bed. I need to touch you to make sure you're healthy. Is that all right? Is that how light magic works? As someone who reincarnated here from Earth, I have a little knowledge about magic. I don't remember a scene like this one with the high priest in the book. Come to think of it, Levi didn't faint after touching the golden bow. He must have had a much stronger resistance to pain than I do. Celeste doesn't know much about magic either. She has no magical powers of her own, after all. Nobody in the DeQuiar's family does. Elijah says he has to touch me for his magic to work, though. I doubt he's lying. I look at him. He stares back at me with a patient smile. The high priest is really attractive. I never thought I would find a guy with pink hair dashing, but he must have the longest lashes I've ever seen on a man. I blush, realizing I'm checking Elijah out. He's a priest, for heaven's sake. Eurydice just reminded me that he can only marry within the clergy. He's off limits, besides. He only wants to touch me to make sure I'm okay. Stupid hormones. I clear my throat, though I can't do nothing to stop my cheeks from burning. All right, go ahead. Oh, okay. This is how you're going to touch me? A little forward. Elijah surprises me by leaning his forehead against mine. Before I can protest, an aura of white surrounds his body. He's really working his magic on me. I close my eyes and focus on how his magic makes me feel. His touch is pleasant and warm. I become strangely comforted. I'm sorry, my cats. I think they're still okay. Sometimes they fight and I'm like, okay, are you guys play fighting or are you fighting? It's hard to tell, and they kind of worry me a little bit. I'm a little bit of an anxious cat mom. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to 9 because of these cats. They're worrying me. Hey, you too. Hey, you too. Hey, you two, behave. They're not gonna behave. Before I realize what I'm doing, I lean in closer towards him. Elijah's chuckle makes me snap out of the comforting embrace of his
Light
magic.
magic does have a good feel, doesn't it?
There's a twinkle in his eye and a confident smirk on his face. Is he flirting with me? Embarrassed, I pull away. Lady Celeste is healthy. I can also confirm that the golden bow's magic has entered her body. She's the Saintess. Father lets out a heavy sigh. I hope you won't embarrass me. I glare at him, pursing my lips. I want to call him out on his unkind behavior, but I stop myself. I must be a good, noble lady. I can be a good, noble lady. Fuck this guy. I turn back to Elijah instead. Thank you for the checkup. You're welcome. Only 2 hours remain until Celeste has to attend the audience with the Empress. Yes, we should go and let Sister prepare for seeing the Empress. I want to keep talking with Elijah. If anyone could explain to me more about the Golden Bow's magic, it's him. Unfortunately, now is not the right time. Father rings the bell. A moment later, Linda appears in the doorway. Makes less presentable for meeting the Empress and Emperor Consort. Yes, my lord. Everyone says their goodbyes to me, and they leave me alone with my maid. I follow a step behind Father. We walk through the corridors of the palace to the throne room where the Empress and the Emperor Consort are waiting for us. As I watch Father's back, I feel Celeste's resentment for him resurface. No, resentment isn't a strong enough term to describe her feelings. Celeste hates her father. Oh, man. Not without reason either. What he's done to her over the years is something I can only describe as pure abuse. He's belittled her constantly, both in public and in private. His favorite title for her is his no-good daughter. He has always made her feel like she is less than Eurydice, unworthy of his praise. The only time he ever pulls his attention away from Eurydice is when Celeste misbehaves. Celeste's mother died when the two girls were young. Celeste has no memory of her and no one to shield her from her father's wrath. Maybe the situation is why Celeste is always out hunting or horseback riding, taking herself far away from father and her duties as a noble lady. In Levi, he has watched Celeste suffer at father's hand. I have a memory of him standing up for his love and father having him flogged for it. After that event, Celeste forbade her knight to ever act in her defense again in front of her father. Levi protested, but Celeste insisted, using her authority as his noble lady to make him agree. In the years that followed, they both suffered, Celeste from her father's abuse, and Levi watching his love in pain. How could I not hate Celeste's father for his disgusting behavior? A pang of loneliness shoots through my heart. My parents never abused me, but I wasn't from a picture-perfect family either. There was a lot of fighting between mom and dad before they finally divorced. I was 14 when they parted ways, and I had a lot of trouble accepting that the situation wasn't my fault. I tried to help them fix their broken relationship before the divorce, but they didn't believe their marriage was worth saving. Eventually, everything fell apart regardless of my efforts. Ever since then, I've had trouble trusting anybody enough to fall in love. I had a boyfriend in high school, but he broke up with me because I was too cold and emotionless towards him. His exact words. Oh man. We need love to save the world, and we struggle to fall in love. This is not a good combination. At the time, I just didn't know how to show love or if I should even be open about my deep feelings for him at that early stage of our relationship. Both Celeste and Celine have their own baggage, but I was finding it very hard not to talk back to father whenever he was rude to me. Celeste had long since given up on the relationship and simply chose to ignore his outbursts, but letting someone belittle me wasn't my style. I realized father had stopped walking when I almost bumped into him, stopping just in time to avoid the collision. Hi, Priest Elijah. Hello again, Saintess, Count Icarius. Elijah nods at us with a soft smile. He looks me up and down. I fidget, uncomfortable with the attention. Not sure if he's checking me out or if he's just interested in the fancy dress. He's checking you out, honey. Linda helped me change into. It is a beautiful dress after all. Then his eyes wander to Levi, and he looks at him with the same appreciation. Huh? Oh. He's checking us both out. Well, yes, I guess that shouldn't surprise me. I know for sure Elijah is into men. After all, he was interested in Levi in the book. I decided to join you during the audience. We're happy to have you. Are you ready to enter? I'm not, but then again, I'm not sure if I ever will be. Father nods in response to Elijah's words before I can protest. Let's enter. The guards in front of the throne room entrance open the door, and Father and Elijah enter the hall. I turn to Levi. Now more than ever, I need the support of someone who I know cares for me, even though he doesn't really care for me, but the original Celeste. Levi won't be allowed to say anything during the audience, but I still want him present at my side. Come in with me. You'll only be able to stay by the door, but I want you to be there for this conversation. All right. I enter the throne room as well now, Levi following behind me. We are almost caught up, I think, to where the last demo ended. Pretty close. Not terribly close, but decently close. The Empress is sitting on her throne, and the Emperor Consort is lounging in the smaller chair next to her. Empress Morel is as radiant in person as she is in Celeste memories. Wearing a golden gown, she is the son of the Lokari Empire. Her husband, Emperor Consort Lucius, comes from our allied country, Durandal. He's called the Moon of the Lokari Empire. Looking at him makes me remember that the Lokari Empire's allied country of Durandal is a southern land, and thus its people have darker complexions. I came from the States, so finally seeing someone of color feels familiar and comforting. It reminds me of the fact that the novel was quite diverse for a book written by a Korean web novelist. Even though there aren't too many characters of color in Saint of the Golden Bow, the book introduces them in some important ways. Noah, the main love interest, is mixed race. When the Empress sees us approach, she gives us a bright smile. At last, the prophesied Saintess stands before me in the flesh. I smile and make my best attempt at curtsy, following Celeste's memory. The winsome father's face tells me I failed to move properly. For some reason, I find his expression funny. I cover my mouth so that nobody sees the smirk on my face. I embarrass father in front of the Empress. I can't say it wouldn't be enjoyable. Father and Elijah make smooth bows. Thank you for the chance to have an audience with you, Your Grace. Grace to be in your presence again, O radiant lady. Of course, how could I not gaze upon the chosen heroine with my own eyes? The Empire has been waiting for her for over 20 years. Though I'm surprised your daughter is the one who turned out to be the Saintess, Count Alaric. A nervous trickle escapes Father's lips. Always been good with the bow. So I've heard. Your daughter doesn't act much like a noble lady, does she? She does have a reputation for enjoying quite boyish activities. Father's face turns big. Oh yeah, so I didn't remember this from last time. She's a giant bitch. She's a giant cunt. I didn't like her. Father's, it's like he's a jerk, so he kind of deserves it, but she was just being such a bitch. Father's face turns beet red. He's embarrassed because of me. I realize I shouldn't let myself be too happy about the situation, though. There's too much at stake. I can't ignore the fact that as the Saintess, I have an important role to uphold in the Lokari Empire. As Eurydice explained to me, I'm the 4th most important person in the hierarchy now. But the people are going to treat you like shit. No pressure, huh? It seems the Empress finds me lacking as well, and having her, out of all people, displeased with me is not good. I remember Noah's plotline from the novel. The Empress sends him on the quest with Levi to defeat the Demon Queen, even though Noah is the heir to the throne. Or, so he should be, since he's Empress Morelle's firstborn. However, the monarch is a very controlling. She doesn't want to give up the power of her throne to anybody, so she hopes to continue ruling through her child once she abdicates. Due to the law of the Lokari Empire, a person can only rule for 40 years before they have to pass on the role to another. The Empress is aging, but based on what I know from the novel, her hunger for power over the years has only grown. She wants to keep her influence over the politics of the Empire, however, Noah, her heir, isn't someone who can be easily controlled. The Empress has a secret second son, however, 10-year-old Matteo, whom she's raising to be completely obedient and reliant on her own opinions. Me wonder how she hid her pregnancy. She only sends Noah on the mission because she hopes he will die so she can establish Matteo as a new heir. She can't pronounce someone else the crown prince until Noah is gone. Someone as ruthless as the Empress is definitely not a good enemy to have. It's known that Count de Queras has 2 daughters, the one who is a perfect image of a noble lady and the one who's a tomboy. I suppose the girl that stands before us, although dressed in finery, is not much of a... Silence falls in the room. Everyone looks at me, expecting me to answer. It's like, what the fuck do you want me to say, guys? Under the sudden attention, my mouth is dry and I can't find the words. They don't know much about Celeste, but rumors precede her. They have already judged her. Me. Why did I think I would suddenly gain respect by becoming the Saintess when Celeste's questionable reputation has been spreading for years? In a sense, it's good that everyone expects Celeste to be quite lousy at etiquette. After all, I have no idea how to curtsy or properly use the utensils or dance like a graceful noble lady, but you're going to be hazed. People are going to treat you terribly. This is not going to end well. Since Celeste's skills didn't directly transfer to me, if she really had been a perfect lady, I would have suddenly looked like an imposter. Still, I don't want the Empress to think I'm worthless as a Saintess too. She deems me inadequate like Father does. Will she try to get rid of me so the Golden Bow can choose another saint? I don't think she has a very forgiving personality, judging by how much she hates her own son. Just when I gather my words to speak, the door to the throne room burst open. Ah, this is Noah. A well-posed, tall, blonde man enters the room in a dramatic fashion, his cloak waving behind him in the sudden draft of air. He is Noah, Levi's love interest in the book. He's one of the most handsome guys I've ever seen, next to Levi and Elijah. His skin is darker than most Lokari Empire nobles, but only slightly. He inherited most of his features from the Empress. The current Emperor Consort is not Noah's father, but the previous consort was also from our allied country, Durandal, in the south. When he spots me, a smirk appears on his face. His red eyes shine with mischief.
Knock,
Knock, knock. Did I miss anything?
Fashionably late as always, my son.
Oh, that was probably a voice. Sorry, I took my headphones off for a second. They're kind of hurting my head.
If I missed nothing, there was nothing to miss. This is the Saintess, right? Count de Queras' tomboy daughter.
I'm not saying their last name completely wrong, but I'm not saying it completely correct either. I'm getting tired. I hold back a groan. Even Noah knows about Celeste's reputation. Everyone knows. Everyone
Yes,
knows.
that's me.
You're good at archery, are you not? Better than you are at etiquette, at the very least.
So of the 3 guys so far, Levi, Elijah, Noah, I feel like Noah has the best voice actor.
Yes, I'm quite good with the bow.
Probably not as good as Celeste, though, I presume, judging by her renowned reputation. At least I'm still good enough to shoot arrows with decent accuracy. I just need to practice a bit more and remember everything I learned in middle school.
Quite. Then you'll be perfect for the role of the Saintess.
How can you say that? If a lacking individual takes up such a high role in the hierarchy of the Empire...
All the Saintess needs to do is shoot the golden bow and hit the Demon Queen straight in the heart. Then the war will finally be over. Is that not what you want, Mother?
I want peace more than anything else.
That doesn't sound very honest of her. There's something sketchy going there. That's a lie. Okay. With the army off fighting at the war front, the Empress feels more secure in her role here in the capital. Oh, okay, yep. Do you question God's will, Empress? It is the Lord who has chosen Lady Celeste to be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. While Celeste may be lacking in some other areas, she asserts she's great at archery and her reputation confirms her words. Right, Mother, so you shouldn't worry. Lady Dequarius will make an excellent Saintess. I wish I could share the faith that these 2 have in me. Still, I have to maintain a confident front, so I put on my brightest smile. Please don't worry about anything, Your Grace. I'll defeat the Demon Queen and bring peace to the Empire. Empress Morel gives me a long look. After a moment, the confident smirk that Noah inherited from her is back on her face. Excellent. Then there's nothing stopping us from proceeding with the mission to defeat the Demon Queen, is there? Noah, you'll be the one leading the Saintess's quest. Noah's eyes widen, he opens his mouth, then closes. But you will lead the Saintess's quest, and you will take the 20 best men from the palace guard, the mage's tower, and the church to accompany you, and you will leave in a month. In a month? So soon? Shock makes my heart beat erratic. With my current archery skills, I'm nowhere near ready to defeat a powerful enemy so soon. Is there a problem? You said you're great at using the bow, and that's all you need to be successful, Saintess, right? Empress has really turned the tables on me. I can't deny her words, and neither can Noah. After all, we're the ones who just made those claims to her. I simply thought we'd have more time to prepare. There is no more time, not with the Demon Queen's army closing in more and more on the capital in recent years. I think you and the Saintess are ready enough. But do you question the Empress's judgment? The Emperor and Noah glare at each other. Noah doesn't respond. He finally just turns around and walks towards the door. Noah, you will prepare for the quest and depart in a month. As you wish, Your Grace. It's not too much to ask. I want to accompany the Saintess and the Prince on their quest. Elijah's request surprises me for a moment until I remember that he wanted to join the mission when Levi was a saint as well. Are you sure, High Priest? You will be leaving your office behind for 2 months. Yes, I'm sure. I'll take Gareth with me well. Meredith can manage run the office on her own. I'll appoint some people to help her with the paperwork. The Saintess's quest will be a historic moment in the life of the Lokari Empire. I wouldn't want to miss witnessing the Saintess defeat the Demon Queen. He has strange taste, but with Elijah's light magic, our success will be easier, I don't protest. We'll need all the help we can get. Alright, you may go as well. Thank you, Your Grace. I will organize a ball to celebrate the finding of the Saintess tomorrow evening. Be sure to attend all of you. We all reply, we'll be there, and after some final departing words, we're dismissed. After the audience, I ask everyone to give me some time alone. I'm too overwhelmed by the recent events. I need some time to think. Take a sheet of paper and a quill, and I begin to scribble down my thoughts. I survived my death event, the demon attack in the woods near the Dequarius mansion. That's why Levi is likely to continue to love Celeste and not become interested in anybody else. No, I can't assume anything. I really should ask him what he thinks about Noah and Elijah. He saw both of them during the audience, and he saw Elijah flirting with me during the magical checkup. I'm not really the Celeste Levi loves. I have her memories and a portion of her skills, but I'm basically Celine in Celeste's body. I'm not just Celeste recollected his life. Instead, I, Celine, have taken over Celeste's body at a pivotal moment of her current life. So, okay, so this is the isekai trope we are leaning into, huh? So, what happened to the original Celeste? Where did her spirit go? Because usually when you see stuff like that, it's like, oh, like, I don't know, the original person was like died and you took over their body, something like that, or they were on the verge of death and you took over their body situation. So I'm quite curious to see where this goes and how it goes out. Does that mean Celeste is really dead? I don't sense her presence living in my body, which is a relief, truth be told. I prefer being alone with my thoughts. The idea of her passing is sad, though, even if I'm conflicted about her treatment of Levi. I'm now the Saintess of the Golden Bow, a hero the whole Lucaria Empire has been awaiting for years, yet Levi was supposed to take on that role. Levi has been trained to protect Celeste all his life. He's way more skilled at archery than I am. I have a month to train myself to use a bow properly, not just any bow though, the golden bow, which seems more ornamental than practical. Building that weapon will be a pain in the ass. What were the 2 components needed to defeat the Demon Queen again? Love, come on. First one is firing an arrow imbued with the golden bow's light magic at the Demon Queen's heart and actually hitting the target. So I'll need to practice both archery and accessing the bow's magic. As someone who comes from Earth, I have no idea how to wield magic. The very concept of magical power coursing through my body is foreign to me. But training with the bow will just take time, though I have little to spare as for wielding its magic. That's something Elijah will know more about, given that he's a light magic user. I scribble down that I need to talk to Elijah about the golden bow and its magic. Know thy enemy, they say, and right now my enemy, until I master it, is that bow. There is a second component to defeating the Demon Queen, one that follows a story trope more than practical logic. Noah and Levi's love makes the magic of the golden bow stronger. How is that possible? I have no idea. Could Noah and Levi being in love even solve this problem anymore? No, it has to be the wielder of the bow that's in love for the magic to trigger properly, right? So I'll have to break up the couple that I shipped. It's a sad situation, but my survival is on the line. Unless I go for Elijah, that is. But he can't have a relationship with anybody outside of the church, which is another complication. First, I'd need to determine if Elijah and Noah are even interested in women. If they're not, any relationship with me would be impossible. As for me, I can't imagine falling in love with someone in 2 months. Love is such a difficult topic for me. I don't trust or fall in love easily. The whole situation with my parents' divorce made falling in love not something I can easily imagine happening to me. So screwed. Yes, you are, honey. You're gonna die because your heart is not open to the idea of loving someone else. I'm scared. The situation isn't just a story in a book anymore, it's my reality. Levi, Elijah, Noah, Eurydice, Father, the Empress, they're all real people. They aren't acting according to script either. The plot of the book has changed. It's a real world now with unpredictable consequences, and I'm at the center of this new story. Levi dies at the end of the book despite defeating the Demon Queen, despite Noah's love for him. Will I die again too? Or will that aspect of the story change as well? No, I can't give up. I must change reality and my fate. It's not like me to mope around and feel defeated. I'm the master of my own destiny. If I have to fall in love with someone, who should it be? Levi, who blindly adores his lady. Noah, who has been burdened with leading the mission to defeat the Demon Queen. Elijah, who is a priest and can't marry someone unless they're part of the church. Or should I pick someone else entirely? I at least have to admit that all 3 of them are handsome men. I just hope my own baggage isn't going to drag me down too much. Will I become cold and detached if I enter into a relationship with any of them, just like I did with my ex-boyfriend? It's been a while since high school, but I'm still hung up about how things turned out between us. Can someone like me even make a guy fall in love with her within a month? My heart is beating so quickly now that I realize what's really at stake and what I have to do. I'm terrified. Did I ask Levi what he thinks about Elijah and Noah? I don't feel close enough to ask Levi about it yet. Yeah, it would be best to make things clear. Best I make things clear between us. I need to talk to Levi about Noah and Elijah. I open the door to my room and look outside. Levi is standing there guarding the door. He looks at me with a gentle smile and makes a small nod. Levi, could you step into my room for a moment? I want to talk to you. Of course. I take a step to the side, letting Levi enter the room. My heart is beating quickly and I clench my hand on my dress. Levi seems to notice my unease, his expression turning into one of concern. Celeste. I push my fear aside and decide to just outright ask him. Hey Levi, what do you think about Prince Noah? The Mad Prince? Yeah, that's what everyone calls him, right? He's known to always antagonize the Empress with his words and attitude. He's never done anything that could be considered a crime against the crown. The Empress delegated part of the responsibilities for maintaining the order in the palace to Prince Noah as per the Lokari Empire laws on succession. He needs to learn how to manage the empire as the heir. When I've heard, he's doing a good job and is very dedicated to his work. So despite the fact that he's not very diplomatic with his words, I think he'll make a good emperor in the future. I see. That wasn't what I was asking, though. I wanted to know what you think about Noah personally. Are you sure I'm allowed to voice my opinion on the future emperor? I look around and gesture to the room. It's like, who else the fuck is in here? Levi, come on. Let it rip. It's just you and I here. I suppose that's right. I'm not going to tell on you. Yes, I know that. Well, I think Noah is too brash in the way he speaks. I really don't like his attitude towards you during the audience. That's still not what I wanted to know. Do you think Noah is attractive? Many people do. He's had a few past relationships here and there, though he avoids casual flings. That still doesn't answer my question. Yeah, I think Prince Noah is attractive. And now that you hold the position of the Saintess, he would make a great match for you. Does Noah like women? He's had 2 female and 2 male partners in the past. Bingo, I just got all the information I needed about Noah from Levi. I suppose you becoming the future Empress wouldn't be bad for you. Levi has a pained expression on his face. Imagining me with Noah must be difficult for him. What about High Priest Elijah? What about him? Do you also find him attractive? He's like, what the fuck, Celeste? Like, what are you doing? Why, I love you. Why are you questioning my love for you? You're not trying to set me up with someone again, are you? Slightly. Oops. I got Levi angry. From Celeste's memories, I know they've had conversations similar to this one in the past. I don't know what the right answer to his question is. There is none. If I say I'm asking for myself, he'll be sad that I'm looking at guys other than him. If I refuse to answer, he'll continue thinking I'm trying to pair him with one of the guys. That's not why I'm asking. I just wanted to know your opinion. I'm not buying it. Why the High Priest and Prince Noah, out of all people, they're of such different stand-in than I am anyway. I couldn't possibly be in a relationship with either of them. Difference in social stand-in hadn't stopped Levi from falling in love with Celeste, or from falling in love with Noah in the book, for the matter, though I did remember him being hung up on status differences in the novel as well. Yes, both are attractive guys. I could see myself being with either of them if our situations were different, but he gives me another pained look. He's in love with me, what he's trying to say. But he can't allow himself to tell me the truth, because it'd be a burden. At least Levi gave me the information about Noah that I wanted to know. I don't want the conversation between Levi and me to get any more difficult, so I suppose I'll end here. Actually, on that note, I'm probably also going to end things here. Oh, I actually had my save from September. I'm going to save over that. Okay, so I'm not finishing the demo tonight, so I'll have to circle back to it. Next week, on Tuesday, I'll be doing Moondusk Masquerade for story time. That's by Nochi Studios, so I'll be playing through that demo. And the week after that, I need to play through and just start Canvas Menagerie. It's a boys' love story. So, I probably won't come back till probably the end of the month, the 25th. and hopefully we'll be able to finish it. Hopefully. It's also once April hits, the Kickstarter for Snow Kissed Romance will be up again. The Kickstarter did not pass for their last thing. It did not get funded. I think they got like halfway. So they're going to redo the Kickstarter in April. Hopefully we'll see if they can actually get funded this time. I don't know if they're going to make any changes to like pricing or anything like that. I have no idea. But I did not have time to stream and play through the Snow Kiss Romance demo during this last Kickstarter, so I am planning to play it during. It looks cute. Hopefully it'll get funded. It looks like it'll be a cute game. But at the end of the day, hopefully even if they don't get fully funded, maybe they can still make the game. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Okay. So what we should be doing, looking at who we should be raiding. So let's see. So everyone who has been here today, I appreciate you coming and listening to story time and listen to me talk a lot. I hope you will come back for story time. Maybe. I do understand if you won't, though. I will be streaming Fields of Mystria tomorrow to get my farming sim in. Gotta, get that fixin'. Let's see. Okay, so there is no one playing Saintess of the Golden Bow, so we are going to be looking for friends who are playing, and probably 90% of the people I know are, for the most part, playing Sir Hunter Wilds. Will we play that? I don't know. Let's see. Is Foxy still on? Wiggle Wizzle, because it's amazing. It is. It's such a cute. Wiggle Wiggle. I'm gonna have to get a new Wiggle and get it updated. I don't see Foxy on. I guess Foxy may have finished. Oh. Let's see. Is anyone using the Cozy Cool tag? So Astral is doing Overwatch, Pause doing 7 Days to Die, Shy Phoenix is doing Repo. What about Pink Fuzzy Bunnies tag? Fuzzy Bunnies. No Pink Fuzzy Bunnies. Okay. Go back to the Cozy Coat. And we will go give Astral some love because she is playing Overwatch. So why not? Go check out some Overwatch. Okay. Well, I hope to see you guys next time. And thank you for coming along and being here. And I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday and a great rest of your week. Fields of Mystria tomorrow. Okay, rating now.